Okay, all the flight controllers, go for landing. Retro. Go. Fido. Go. Guidance. Go. Control. Go. Telcom. Go. GNC. Go. Ecom. Go. Surgeon. Go. Capcom, we're go for landing.
There is nothing wrong with your television. Do not attempt to adjust the picture. We are now controlling the transmission. We control the horizontal and the vertical. We can deluge you with 1,000 channels or expand one single image to crystal clarity and beyond. We can shape your vision to anything our imagination can conceive. For the next hour, we will control all that you see and hear. You are about to experience the awe and mystery which reaches from the deepest inner mind to the outer limits.
This is DDS02D. I hope everybody's having a great start to the weekend. It is Friday. I have with me Miss Pat, Miss Animal Advocate up here. You know, one of my day ones from the very beginning. Sister, I hope that you're doing great. I want to talk about tonight. I want to talk about Mechee X, and once again, she had a conference. Just within the last few days up there in Chicago. And we have a disaster on our hands once again. So, you know what? I want to get into that. But I also want to talk about the conference that she had in Atlanta not too long ago. She had a conference up there in Atlanta, and me and Miss Pat, talked about that conference and a lot of the issues that was going on. So I kind of want to go over that real quick because it actually does pertain to what happened just a couple days ago in Chicago. And my stance on this, okay, like I'm going to say this, like with her with the conference she had in Atlanta, I gave a lot of deference. I gave a lot of understanding to what was going on. I gave her the benefit of the doubt. And I like to give people the benefit of the doubt until they prove otherwise. And Miss Pat, I'm going to tell you, I think that the benefit of the doubt is over. It is over, but there's a hodgepodge of things going on. So I want to talk about that because that's just not the only thing. There was another issue with our people when it comes to Black folks and how they support and, their leaders and support conferences and conventions and things of that nature. So I want to kind of talk about that secondarily, but really quick, how you doing, Miss Pat? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am. You sound great. You sound fantastic. How have you been doing, sister?
Oh, I've been doing okay. I've been very busy with the busy bees and my new dog. Well, actually, it's my husband's dog, but I'm the one who babysits a lot of the time for him. And we've got a lot of things going on. The kids are grown and pretty much on their own, so we are both enjoying each other as a couple again. It's so funny when your children grow up, how you look at things and how they're changed, what you've been through for all the years. And you look back and say, gosh, this is the person that I formed a family with. And I see why I formed a family with him. You sometimes you don't get to look back so much when you're busy raising a family. But it's been a very rewarding experience, and it still is. So that's what's been going on. But I've been especially busy with the bees. I have like 5 hives, and they're all going strong. But there's a few little issues with them, that I have to correct and so forth. But it's been very exciting year for that. So yes, we've been very busy, and yes, I've been listening to what's going on with Mechee X and her new approach to the conferences and so forth. Her conferences, they're it's after COVID, the conferences have not been as successful. I guess people aren't as supportive of these conferences, and I just wonder why. Because I do. We can discuss this, but she's showing people how to do businesses online and survival. Uh, methods for, like, if you're in a disaster situation, how to have a survival kit and a bug out bag and a survival bag and so forth. And that's very useful information that a lot of people don't usually have. So I took most of her suggestions, if not all of them, and it has worked out for me. But I've still got a few challenges myself starting businesses. But it is a good idea to always be, have a backup plan. So, because if you have a job and for some reason jobs don't work out, you always have a money making plan,
That's
or
right.
your another vocation. So, yeah, it's always good to have hobbies, interests, family, co-workers, get along with your co-workers, get along with your community, and just take care of yourself, just really take care of yourself so you can take care of everybody else as well. So yes, this is going to be very exciting. I would love to hear your perspective on what's been going on. And how have
Yes,
you
ma'am.
been? How are you and your family?
Ma'am, I've been doing great. I mean, you said a whole mouthful that we can go, probably a couple hours on.
Yes.
But oh, I see you got something playing in the background. You might want to.
Oh,
Okay,
no,
okay.
that's my dog. He's
Oh,
barking.
okay. Well, yeah, yes, ma'am. Like I've been doing great. I was thinking about what you said there. How quickly the children grow up, but for you, you're in a different phase, right? Where the kids are grown, so you and your husband are able to spend time together once again. As you guys probably did when you first got together, and I mean, right now, sometimes I really long for those days because my son, he is so needy. He is so needy. I mean, you can't even leave the house without him just like being worried about being left alone. He doesn't like being alone. So, but
Oh, that's so
yeah,
sweet.
yeah, yeah. He started school. He's 8 years old now, and he started school again. Like this, the school year just started back, and he's very excited about school. He's doing well. He's on track to do everything that he is supposed to do. You know what I mean? So, and I'm really happy. Like I'm really glad to to spend this time with him and try to cherish it, as much as I possibly can, because I mean, life is not like life goes by really quickly. Like I remember when I was 18, 17 years old, and all of a sudden now I'm 41, almost 42, and it's really like just amazing how quickly that time passes. And like I want to savor every moment, even if some times are difficult or whatnot, just relish in the moment, because I know that all things shall pass. So like at some point, any issues or things of that nature will pass, and then you'll look back on it and you'll be like, oh yeah, I remember that, and everything worked out just fine. For the most part, things work out just fine. So you know what, I've been doing fantastic, Miss Pat. Like I've been out here, working. Still got the same job I always had. Out here doing my content. And been exploring different things like AI videos. I've been making a lot of those. I've been having a lot of fun out here, with a lot of different, like, saying new things that is going on. They got so much going on these days, Miss Pat. So, I mean, it's just amazing how fast time is going. Like, I remember the days of where there were pay phones, like, you know what I mean? Like there were pay phones, there were phones that had a rotary like face on it, and it's just amazing that people have never seen that before. And I'm like, oh wow, I must be old, right? Because I remember those days, right? Some folks don't even know how to use those, like they've never even seen them before. Like the rotary phones, they've never seen them before. They've never actually seen a payphone before. Like it's just amazing, like how fast time seems to be moving. As far as the advances in technology and things of that nature. But yes, ma'am, I've been doing great. It's really good to hear. I know I've been watching your streams about the bees. I really like watching those videos about the bees. I think you had like multiple different hives. I think one hive, I think you said was like a German hive, and I thought that was kind of very interesting. Each one was a little differently constructed. So you had them kind of out there, and you were kind of like seeing how each like hive was doing, because they, I mean, it's pretty good, but because relatively speaking, they were all in the same conditions, like on your property there. And like it was just interesting to see all of the different hives and how they were doing. I'm just amazed by how you're able to get those trays out, those trays out, and not get stung to death, because I would be like totally like afraid of that, of just being swarmed and attacked and things of that nature. So it's very, to me, like I really enjoy watching it, like it's really good stuff. So I know, that there's a lot of, work there with that. And I know recently, I'm not sure if you're in the same part of Texas where there was a lot of rain, a lot of weather going on. So I hope that maybe like that didn't affect, the bees and stuff. But um
Well,
yeah, sister, yeah. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
the bees, the bees are, I haven't done as many videos on them lately because it's part of a season where I've had to requeen a few of them because they've gotten very aggressive. When they get extremely aggressive, is two reasons. They don't like their queen anymore, and you have to give them another queen, or they're beginning to
Miss
die.
Pat,
Can you hear me?
Miss Pat, you're breaking up really bad. You're
Oh, okay.
breaking up really, really bad. So,
My, I'm gonna try to. Can you hear me now?
oh, it's still bad. I can barely hear you, but it's at first you were really good, but then just now like it got really, really bad. So I'm not sure.
I feel a lot of static in my phone when I hear you as well, but I was hoping it wasn't doing that to you. Can you hear me now? Better?
Oh no, it's still kind of bad. It's still bad.
Oh, okay.
It's still
So what,
bad.
I'm gonna try to leave and come back and listen to you for a while
Okay,
on Mechee X or whatever, and then I'll try to come back in. Okay?
okay. Sounds good. Okay,
All
all right.
right.
Okay. So Miss Pat has some issues there with some technical issues. I was gonna spend about 30 minutes reviewing a stream anyway. So I'm gonna be reviewing this stream that me and Miss Pat did, and we were talking about Mechee X and her All Black Agenda conference that was held in Atlanta. So let's go ahead and get started on that. But I want to share something that was quite profound that this sister had to say.
The only thing that y'all can do, and I'm serious, this is what you need to do. You need to get yourself in order, get your household in order, get yourself right. If y'all do more of that, then collectively, maybe we'll be better one family at a time, one community at a time. But all of this coming together and, oh, we're all going to make a big difference together, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. That is not going to happen. That is not going to fucking happen. Black people are not going to come together. The truth is, there is no unity. There will never be any unity. And the unity that we will find will be on such small levels that it will never make a major difference. And this is coming from somebody that has so much hope for our people. If you ask me today, will we ever be free? The answer is no.
We have been saying this, and this is the thing, the brothers in the Black manosphere, we have been saying the same thing that she just said. The Black community, there is no unity here. If you notice, the only time that Black people get unified is when somebody dies. When somebody dies, and all of a sudden people are all out in the streets, but then guess what happens? We let other people come in and take over the narrative. What you think happened with Black Lives Matter? Other people came in and took over the narrative. They came in and started to change the agenda. And then if you think about the civil rights era of the 1960s, what you think happened back then? It was Black people out there protesting and marching in the 60s to get civil rights. It wasn't all of those groups. That legislation, the Civil Rights Act, it is really for Black people. It's supposed to be for Black people. And they know it. But we let these other people come in and start co-opting the language because it was so broadly written that now any and everybody is latching on to the civil rights language. That language was made for us because who were the ones out there getting hosed down in the streets? It was Black people. So, there is no unity. There is no unity. So I understand where she's coming from. There is no unity in the Black community. And us in the Black manosphere, we have been saying this. You have to take care of you and I, me, myself, and I. You need to take care of you as a man. Get your weight up. Worry about you and your family. It starts at the cellular level. It starts at the individual level. It can't start by people just trying to come together. It doesn't work for us. That does not work. We need to stop doing that and start focusing on people just getting themselves right. Get yourself right. Get your own house in order. We have been saying this. The Black manosphere has been saying this from the beginning. With that event that she held, she said that during the first day, around 350 people, right, came to the first event. What was going on at the first event, family? The first day was what? Addressing the issues Black people face in America. Everybody likes to talk, right? Everybody's doing nothing but talking. So everybody wants to come and talk and give their little 2 cents and everything. But guess what? She said on the second day, guess how many people showed up? Now, guess what happened on the second day? What was supposed to happen on the second day was solutions that will give us what we need to be the change that we seek. She said that there were classes going on that day. They had classes teaching people, how to survive, how to purify water if the city turn your water off. Just all type of good information, but only 150 people showed up for that. But see, what it shows, that shows dysfunctional thinking in the Black community. It shows Black people don't really care about solutions. We have been saying this from the beginning. Black people want to be entertained. Y'all want to laugh and joke, and have a good time. But then when it comes time for serious conversations and solutions, you ain't nowhere to be seen. Gone. You don't want to pay for that. It's just sad. So I see where Mechee is coming from. I agree with her. Now, she also talked about a situation where she had people that the speakers, these guest speakers, hold on, where is this? She had guest speakers. See all those guest speakers up there? She was flying in guest speakers to come and speak. And some of them, instead of going up there to speak, what they did was they took a detour. They did something else. They didn't even show up and speak. I see what y'all do. I see what Black people do. I could have told her Black people was going to do this shit. Now, granted, there could have been some things that she could have done to try to get that not to, to discourage them not from doing that, like making them sign a contract, trying to hold them accountable. If you really about helping your people, that shouldn't have to be necessary. You should be wanting to get up there and speak. You should want to get up there and try to help your people. This is shameful. These are the things that were going on behind the scenes. Everybody that, that was in the audience, had, some decent reviews of the event. But she knew about things that were going on behind the scenes, and she didn't got tired of it. She didn't got tired of this. But we have been saying this over here in the sphere. We have been saying this about Black people. That's why don't nobody want to deal with you. That's why you got people trying to separate themselves from the garbage, from the damn garbage. That's straight up garbage right there. And it's really unfortunate. It really is unfortunate. Another thing, she gave away 100 free tickets. And the reason why is because people, Black people, are always begging. They always want something for free. Well, when you get something free and then you don't even show up to the event, just like she stated, that is like the ultimate disrespect. If I give you a free ticket, somebody else could have went there. If you don't show up, you've wasted a spot. You've wasted a spot. And guess what else she said? She is out of pocket $7,000 to $8,000. She had to come out of pocket. You know what? That happened to me one damn time. That happened to me one damn time. And I'm done. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. That's all on me. She is out of pocket $8,000. Because those people that did come and speak, she said that if there was anything left over, which there wasn't, she was going to give them something. And she said that there was nothing left, but she want to give them something for their time and coming up there. I mean, come on, man. Yeah. So I know, that, in the specific area that I'm in, there's, some disdain for her. But listen, I respect anybody that's up here making an attempt to help people, but we could have told her, that this was probably going to happen, and it's really unfortunate. What's going on, Marvel? How you doing, bro? Yeah. 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 She got a lot of people against her. She has a lot of people that are against her. And now one of the things that I will say about her is that if your goal is to reach the majority of Black people, like she said she wanted to reach, a large section and have a big impact on the Black community at large. One piece of advice just from me is that, there's a certain level of decorum that you have to abide to and have when you're starting to talk to the majority of Black people. Some of the language, can be dialed back a little bit, because once you start dealing with the majority of Black people, that type of language, the foul language and whatnot, can really turn people off. That can turn people away from you. And it makes you seem less educated than what you are. That sister is very intelligent. I know she's trying to be quote unquote authentic, but you have to do what you have to do. If your goal out here is to reach the majority of Black people, you do have to have a certain level of professionalism out here. But that's just my small critique on that. But all in all, it still doesn't warrant, even the way she is now, it doesn't warrant what happened to her and what they did to her at this event. I mean, it really doesn't. Yes, she really is. She's very intelligent. But yeah. Animal, you want to come up, sister? Because I know you had some things to say about that event and whatnot. I know if I would have went, I would have been grateful to go. Hey, sister, how you doing?
Oh, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing good. It's good to see you. You know what? I went a bit out of order because I wanted to talk about the accountability argument secondly, but my slides kind of messed up on me, so I went ahead and started talking about this. But what do you think about the Black Agenda conference that was held last weekend? Like, what's your take on all of this?
Well, actually, I attended a Black Agenda conference that Mechee X gave in my town, Houston. And this was back in 2018 or 19 or something like that when she first started doing them. And I thought they did an excellent job. And they gave it at the Black Madonna venue, which is like a Black-owned. I think it's like a I'm trying to think of how to say it. It's like a place where they give all kinds of conferences and stuff like that. And it's very Afrocentric and so forth. But it was really nice. And the Black Madonna has been in Houston for ever since I've been here, long before I was even here. But they gave that conference there, and it was very appropriate location, and it was very warm. And I met her personally. I met Q Butter personally. I met Dr. Shauna. I met I'm in Hope Tep guy. I thought he was really nice. Um, I just thought it was great. I mean, and there was no cussing and carrying on, like you hear on the videos or anything like that. It was very professional. She knows when to turn on and off the speaking type styles. She used to be a minister, so I'm sure she knows how to be charismatic and grab people's attention and really envelop people. And I admire her for that because it's hard to reach out to people and get them to actually listen to you. Um, so I think she means well. I think she's authentic. Unfortunately, she has quite a few people out there trying to give her a hard time. And I felt kind of bad because I'm very, there's another YouTube personality that is at odds with her. And you know, um, I like that YouTube content creator. I think she's very good. And but they will never so-called, make amends because of the competition for a few things. And I don't understand it all, but I just stay out of it. But there have been some issues, and I can sense this one time when she was speaking, she was so upset and so angry and hurt. And I think what she should have done was probably have a manager monitor all of this, because there's only so much you can do all by yourself. And when she said that she stayed up all night putting up chairs and getting everybody seated and all that, she should have had people doing that, you know, because that's too much. That's just too much. And she had a kidney stone, which is really hard on your health. So obviously she's not taking care of her health. That's very, very dangerous. Um, I was upset to hear about that. Okay. Because and just before that, I believe she was actually hospitalized a couple of weeks before that or something, for something that it was not, it was kind of like under the radar. But yeah, she's she's in her mid early 40s, I believe. She's not an old woman, but that's when your health starts to kick you in the butt, after your 30s are over with. Okay, so especially for women. So she really needs to take better care of herself in that respect. But she looks beautiful. I mean, she's a beautiful young lady, and for what she's gone through, I admire her for sticking her neck out to really care about the cause of our people. Because there's other people who, they don't really care about our causes, and they just, they just let things go the same as always, like there's no tomorrow. And we have to, plan and for our future as a people, you know. We really
Yep.
have to do it because we won't exist anymore if we don't. It's just that simple. Because everybody else has done that already. All the other groups and so forth, they're looking out for their survival. We're the only ones that are not doing a good job of that. So
Yeah, my thing is animal, and see, you know what? I want to get this. I want to get this out because
mm-hmm.
my thing is that yeah, I understand that there are things that she could have done differently, and maybe she could have got a manager, and those are all valid and legitimate critiques. But what I'm looking at, and this is what I'm looking at, is not what she could have did, but what other people did. I'm looking at, what the speakers done, how they talked about her event, you know, uh, while they were trying to talk to her, talking down about her event. Like she mentioned that she was trying to speak with a person, a speaker, about, how to get them their money or whatever. And they were at the same time tweeting out or testing out something on social media about how bad the event was and how people aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing. So I'm looking at all of the things behind the scenes, like, and then I'm looking at just the general, like I'm taking a wide, like a wide view of our people just based on the event. Like if you just look at how our people reacted to the event, how they were behaving, like, the first day there were 350. And on the second day, there were only 150. What does that say about Black people wanting solutions? And that's why she was saying there's no hope for the Black community. There's really no hope in us coming together, doing this coming together thing and figuring it out and then having a community and building. That's not happening. She was right. She's right. Mechee is 100% right. Think about this, Animal. Think about the 1970s. Do you remember all of those civil rights activists and advocates? What happened to them? Where did they go? You know what? They went away because they realized that I'm wasting my time. I'm wasting my time. Nobody really cares. Nobody is really trying to improve the community, make a community, you know what I mean, and fix the ills of the community. Nobody's doing that. They're wasting their times. Like they realized that they were wasting their times. That's why you don't see them anymore. I mean, think about that. What happened to all of those people?
That's an interesting thought. That's exactly what Mechee was saying. They're all going to go away and disappear, and you're going to have a bunch of grifters that you're going to have to pay money to if they're going to do anything at all, and it's all going to be about ripping you off. But I just don't understand why people are so ungracious. Why even attend a conference or agree to attend a conference if you're not going to do what you say you're going to do? And it's almost like they deliberately did that just to hurt her. You know what I'm saying? And why would you do that? It's just, that's mean-spirited. It really is.
I think there's a lot of backstabbing going on too. Like, all those speakers, I think that maybe, they have alliances in other areas of Black YouTube, in the pro-Black sector. And maybe it could have been, maybe some sort of quote unquote conspiracy to make her look bad. And if that turns out to be true, I'm telling you right now, if that turns out to be true, that would be really unfortunate. That would be really unfortunate that some of the people that, aren't so pro Mechee out here, those big YouTubers that are out here, pro-Black, if they conspire with some of these people to try to mess up her event, see, that just shows just the level of dysfunction that's going on right now in the Black community. It shows why we can't get anywhere. You see what I mean?
Yep, it happens. It happens. People deliberately sabotage stuff so they can go around saying, oh, it wasn't nothing. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
I've seen it happen many times, not just to her, but I've seen it happen in general. And it's a lesson hard learned. And you don't want to hold people to hold a fire to them just to make them do anything. They should be, willing to do it gladly because they care, I mean, but I'm gonna be real honest with you. I've reached out to a few people myself, and just to have them, stab me in the back. I mean, we all have had that experience, right? I mean,
Right.
very like that one I was telling you about.
Yep.
Who's a real big fan of Mechee X. I mean, if everybody is like that, and I don't blame it on Mechee X, but if those are the kind of people that are drawn to her, that they can't be trusted, obviously you can see why this kind of stuff was going on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that girl that you're talking about, that YouTuber that you're talking about, I told you how I felt about her. That woman, there's something wrong mentally in her brain. Like there's something going on with her. Like if you just look at her mannerisms and how she talks and her behaviors, like she's always thinking that somebody's after her, that somebody is conspiring against her, and somebody is hating on her. Woman, you're nothing to be hating on. Like, excuse me, you know what I mean? Like, you're not it. You know what I mean? Like, just stop it. Stop it. You know what I
Well,
mean?
you
Stop
know,
doing it.
she's nobody's important enough for people to go out of the way to do that. People have busy lives, and she's
Right.
just as good and important as anybody else. I really cared about her because I felt bad for her. I didn't feel sorry for her because I didn't feel like feeling sorry for anybody, but I really genuinely wanted to be helpful to her because I feel like women in my generation have somehow dropped the ball for a lot of reasons, trying to be trained younger women how to come across. I think we were just too liberal and permissive. And fortunately, my children didn't turn out to be unfortunate and have bad relationships or anything. But we have not uh, shown these younger people how to behave and reinforce what we expect of them so that they can pass the baton to be good ladies and to have respect. And she is a result of that. She's a result of it. So that's one of the reasons why I reach out. Sometimes you don't just want to reach out to family, you want to reach out to the general population. And, not that you want to be everybody's mama, but you at least want to say, there was some deficit in her life that wasn't fulfilled. And I felt bad for her. It's just that simple,
Yeah.
but she didn't,
And,
she
and
couldn't understand, what people were trying to do. So it's unfortunate, but I wish the best for her. I don't just, wish anything bad on her or anything like that. I think Mechee X is her main. She wants to, look up to her. So maybe Mechee X can reach out to her to try to encourage her. But Mechee is too busy for that nonsense. I mean, she's got to pull her own bootstraps up, so to speak. She's got to be willing to work, just like you said. Everybody should put that effort in, you know?
exactly. And just like Marissa here said, I felt I was kicked to the curb, but I don't hate her like Lions Den that hates her. You know Lions Den, don't you, Michi? Don't you, Animal?
Oh yeah, me and Lions Den are, we're buddies in the sense, and you know why? You want to know why me and Lions Den got together? because Goddess Messy Peace kicked me out of her sphere. She did. She told me not to come up to her videos anymore and talk to her anymore. And so that's why, and she did the same thing to Linus then. She did her the same way. And Linus then is just a little bit more passionate about it because she feels disgruntled because she spent a lot of time and effort trying to encourage this lady just to be treated like a piece of dirt, dog dirt, you know? So, I mean, I guess, Linus then, and she doesn't like Mechee either, but Mechee is also very dismissive of people because she doesn't have time to get back with them. But if you find that someone is really trying to get get to talk to you or something, it's obviously very important. But she was too dismissive of Linus then, and so that kind of caused the problem. But I try not to get in the middle of that. But I do like Linus then. I think she means well.
Yeah.
She's got a quirky way. She's a politician in a way, and you kind of have to. It's hard to appreciate people if you don't really know the deep roots of it. But she's a Chicago
Marissa, who
lady,
you talking
and I
about,
love
Marissa?
Chicago. Yeah.
She talk about Lions Den. You see that comment?
Okay, let me see. She went crazy on my big bro. She sent my bro naked pictures, and she snapped on my big bro when he rejected. Is that Lions Den did that?
Is that Lions Den did
Really?
that? Marissa, you need to come up here and hit that damn link.
She's at work.
You
though.
need to
She's
hit the
at
link.
work.
You need to hit the
Naked
link.
pictures. I thought she was married.
Yeah.
Wild. This is wild.
Yeah. Man, I tell you,
Oh,
it's a lot
wow.
going on, ain't it? I mean, it's a lot going on.
Well, I'm too normal, I guess. Good Lord.
Goodness.
Naked
Yeah,
pictures.
goodness. Yeah.
Oh my God. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, yeah. You know what though? I do appreciate your outlook on that. I still think had she had done all of the things that I've said, that you've said, that there still would have been folks that would have done the same thing. And see, that's what I'm looking at. Like I'm just saying, so the 350 people the first day, and then the 150 people the second day, like it just shows a level of aloofness that our people have when it comes to actually solving problems. And that's what I'm looking at. Like I'm looking at that bigger type of picture. But I really appreciate your input on this, Animal. Like I really do think it was a good, good insight, a really good insight.
Wait, what? Well, the generosity that she gives is phenomenal, and it's almost, I don't want to say foolish, but to be generous to people, sometimes people really don't know how to appreciate generosity. They really don't, and then there's no reciprocity to finish it off. I mean,
Right.
that's what's
Right.
sad, and that's
Yeah.
why a lot of the other people who they left the YouTube street, so to speak, because they were trying to encourage people to do better, and they ended up leaving out because they actually got trolled so much that they couldn't survive it anymore. It was bad for their health. It was bad for their mental well-being and emotional health, and it probably affected their abilities to handle with their family too.
Yeah.
So at some
yeah.
point you got to say, look, enough is enough.
Exactly.
In this Black agenda thing, I was really kind of hurt to hear about how that all happened like that, because this was the first one that's been given, and it was given in a really popular city in Atlanta. And you would think that would be the bomb. You know what I mean? That would just be phenomenal.
Yeah. Well, Animal, thank you for coming up here. You kind of break it up a little bit,
And
hey.
And you have to work a lot to get.
Yeah, sister, you kind of breaking up a little bit.
Placement in Atlanta and all these major cities. You know what I'm saying? And for the people to be that trifling, oh my.
Yeah, you kind of breaking up a little bit, Animal. You breaking up a little bit, but thanks for coming up here. Hey,
okay,
sister. Yeah. Well, you kind of breaking up now. Thanks for coming up, though. I'll catch you on the next one. Thank you so much, man. Thank you. Yeah. Well, I mean, so that was a breakdown of the 2023 Black Agenda Conference. and the debacle that had occurred there. And that was I think it was a great review. But if you notice that I gave Mechee X a lot of deference. I gave her the benefit of the doubt in that situation. Now, that only extends but so far. Now, in 2025, she had another a Black Agenda conference in Chicago. And you will not believe what had occurred. So let me say this. So in synopsis, what we have is after this conference that occurred in Atlanta, she came up with some excuses. She said she was out of money like 7-8 grand. She said she had to work, fold up chairs. She said she had to do a lot of things, right? Okay, so I gave her the benefit of the doubt and said, look, okay, this may not be all of your fault. Yeah, you could have did some things differently, but all in all, I thought it was a great idea. Okay, that extends there. Fool me once, right? Shame on you. Fool me twice, that's all on me. So, look, 2025, we have a pattern developing. What you're going to notice is that we had another debacle. Now, this one is a little bit different, but it's still a debacle. But you're going to notice, right, that she's going to have a lot of excuses. That she's going to have a lot. She's going to be saying some of the same things as far as playing the victim. And this is what I mean. You know, folks just love to play the victim. But what I want to point to is that we've noticed with, you know, the Tulsa Real Estate Fund, with Umar Johnson's school, with Tariq Nasheed's Hidden History Museum, we're noticing a pattern going on in the pro-Black sector of what we call grifting. And it's being called out. That's when people are begging for money for some type of project, something that they're doing, like some type of event, or maybe even like building a school or even a museum, something of that nature. We've noticed grifting going on in the Black community. And what some of the strategy is to play the victim, as though you're the victim of circumstance. I'm a victim of circumstance, right? Explaining that, oh, things are so bad, this happened, that happened. But look, it's all for a good purpose. Give, give, give. Donate, donate, donate. That's what we've noticed. Miss Pat, if you're more than welcome to come up at any time, because I'm going to start getting into the new information as far as her conference that she just had in Chicago a couple of days ago, 2 or 3 days ago. So I've got the footage of what she said happened and what's going on with that conference. So let me go ahead and get ready to pull that up. But this is going to be very, very interesting. Very interesting. So I'm getting ready. I'm pulling this up. Pulling it up. Here we go. Oh, and by the way, all of this is fair use. All of this is fair use, everybody. Fair use, fair use. Hey, Miss Pat, how you doing?
Hi, I hope you're hearing me better.
Yes, a
Uh-oh.
lot better. Yes, a lot
Okay,
better.
I'm a cut.
Pulling this up.
Okay, I'm a listen.
Okay, yeah, this is the new. So this is a video that she came out with, I think, yesterday or the day before, and she was having a conference at this time. So I kind of want you to hear, like, I'm gonna stop it at certain points and kind of talk, but you're gonna hear like a pattern from what happened in 2023. Like, this is gonna be really interesting. So right now, this, like, okay, this is her sitting outside of the venue that she was supposed to have the event in. Okay, so I want to say that again. She's sitting outside of the venue that she is supposed to be having this event in. So let's check it out.
I think it might be working this time. Okay, we're gonna try this again, y'all. This is like my 4th time. This shit keeps saying no go Joe, but I think it's working. I think it's working. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, I see some people in the chat. It's working this time. Hey everybody. Hey Tanjon. I don't want nothing, y'all. I'm talking, I'm waiting for people to show up. We is in Chicago over here at the park. I'm gonna try not to be too Debbie Downer, but I'm having the worst time in Chicago. I wanna go home. But if y'all in the Chicago area, you can still come around to the event, y'all. We have not started yet. I'm at a dilemma, and maybe y'all can help me figure it out.
How are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
Right.
You looking for me?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
looking for you.
I'm waiting for some other people to come.
Really?
Yeah, they not. He ain't let us in the building, so we sitting outside. He claims we're not on the schedule.
Really?
Yeah, and then yesterday, everybody that came, we was a few minutes late because of the parade. He turned everybody away. He was like, "It ain't no event here today," and sent
Really?
everybody home. Yeah.
And you sitting outside yourself. I'm looking at the one and only.
Okay, so I want to stop it right there. So what she said there is that the folks got there and got turned away because the folks that are like the owners of the venue or whatever, are saying that there is no event booked there. So she's sitting outside of the venue. They won't let her in. Look, Miss Pat, this is a failure on her part. Like, just straight up, like, look, if you book like a venue, right, and you get there and there is an issue like that, you can't get in, like, what is going on here? Like, this is telling me that she didn't follow up. Okay, so so what I'm thinking may have happened is either one or two things. Either she never booked it at all, or she did book it, but she never followed up. It is on you as the person that wants to hold the event to ensure that everything is still on, that everything is still on schedule. Like, this is a failure on her part. And once again, what she's doing is she's trying to blame the venue owner as to why it is that they won't let them inside. Like, this is absolutely ridiculous, but let's keep going.
Oh, man.
And so a lot of people who signed up for yesterday, they
Really?
also were supposed to come today, but he told them there was no event here at all
Oh,
this
really?
weekend. So that's why I feel like there's some people here. They all went to go get some stuff. Somebody went to go get me a coffee.
And see, this is the other thing. So if that is the case, she has a basis for a lawsuit. She would actually have a basis to actually file a lawsuit against the person if it's the case that she booked it and she's got proof that she booked it and she shows it and they still don't let her in. She has like every right to go to court and get a judgment against those people. Look, I believe that she never booked it, or she booked it and never followed up. But I'm leaning more towards she never actually booked it, or she thought she was booking it but wasn't booking it. That maybe she just doesn't know what she's doing. And she's going to talk about this later on, talking about she's not an event planner. Look, at some point, I had given plenty of grace. I said, okay, what I mean? Maybe this is not her fault, but look, there is a pattern emerging. And how about she's going to go into full victim mode? So let's keep going. But Miss Pat, let me ask you this. So if you book an event somewhere, right, and they don't let you in, and you prove to them that you booked it, you have every legal right to file some sort of grievance or lawsuit with the courts. I don't get, this doesn't make sense to me. And with a lot of this, unfortunately, a lot of these pro-Black conferences, a lot of these pro-Black events and conventions, there's a lot of quote-unquote janky stuff going on. And look, I'm not buying this. I'm not buying this. This is a classic grift. To play the victim, it's not my fault, and to send me more money, send me donations, because I'm tired of doing this. Watch what she does now. Watch what she do.
It's some folks here, but most of the
left
people,
here. I seen. I'm like,
most of the
somebody
people who's
left
supposed to
here.
be here, no, they was told there's no one here, so
Really?
they all
Oh wow. Oh, okay.
Somebody said, look, I was on the live just talking to everybody,
Oh really?
waiting for some folks to get here. But yeah, I mean, we supposed to be inside with chairs. I apologize.
No
we sitting out here. I was just waiting for everybody to come. He said we could stay out here and do it. I just didn't want to be over there in the grass. They ain't got no chairs. And
So the guy told her, Miss Pat, y'all can sit outside and do it though. Miss Pat, what is this? What is this?
Well, you know what I think happened? She said she parked her car somewhere and they took her car, and they impounded her car and she had to get her car out of it. And that made her late for the event. Now, the thing is, it would have been great if she had had someone she was working with to be there, so they could greet the people. And also the person who they planned the event with should have been, they should have followed up with them and double checked to make sure he had the building open for them, because I'm sure it's hot even in Chicago. Wouldn't want to be outside all day in this heat. Um, if they people did show up to the event and they said the guy turned them away because nothing was actually scheduled. Well, that sounds to me like nothing got scheduled or somebody dropped the ball. I'm not sure what happened. But the reason why Mechee was running late was because they compounded her car and she had to go pick her car up. Now that's really weird, because it's almost like when Zaza Ali planned an event for a bunch of ladies to go to Sedona somewhere in Arizona or something and have a weekend, like a ladies' affair. And she got in a car accident and couldn't make it out there. And what happened was she scheduled everybody scheduled their hotel and everything. And then when they scheduled their hotel, they didn't have the hotel room scheduled because Zaza Ali did not give them their money for the down payment. It almost sounds like somebody fumbled the ball again. You know what I'm saying? It's not the same thing, but it's very similar. So I
Yeah,
don't.
it's very similar. That's what I'm saying. Oh, so her car got impounded. Look, that is her fault. She parked somewhere she wasn't supposed to park. Look, this is not professional at all. And she's the one that's kind of doing
Yeah.
these events. See, that's what I'm saying. This is not done correctly. And you're gonna see what she says next, because she's going to go into full victim mode and actually blame her supporters for what happened. Watch this. Watch this.
All in the sun.
Yeah, I got some chills. I got some chills. Yeah, yeah.
Freedom said it's always our own people. It is, y'all. That's why I said I'm discouraged. Y'all, maybe y'all can help me because see, I got this dilemma. This is the dilemma, y'all, right? So whenever I pay for an event, if I had paid for this place, right, and I had given them money, they would have been here, the door would have been open, there wouldn't have been no problem with the event, right? But the problem with that is it costs money. It costs insurance. It costs a whole lot, right? And then if the ticket sales don't cover it, and I got to charge y'all a ticket price, I got to pay the rest that don't get covered. I said I wasn't doing that shit no more, and I mean it.
Okay, so real quick on that. Look, what you have to do is if you're concerned about having to overpay for like a situation like that, what she needs to do is calculate all of that into the ticket price. Calculate all of that in there. That way you don't have to worry about coming out of pocket like that. That's all you have to do is just understand, okay, this is going to cost this much. This on average costs this much. Let me spread that like evenly throughout the supporters that are going to attend, and I won't have to come out of pocket. Look what she's doing. She's going into victim mode, and what she's saying now, oh, it was all like donation based, and she's trying to say, oh, because it was a donation based, that is some of the reason why they fumbled the ball. You know what? I do not think that that's what it is. If you book something like that through an agency, like, that owns a venue, like they won't renege on you like that, because it doesn't matter whether or not it's based on donations or not. They have given their word somewhere along the line. Just like you said, somebody dropped the ball here, and it is somebody on Mechee's side there that did it. But I'm going to put it on her because she's the one that's out front. She's the one out here, supposedly the leader, and coordinating all of this and putting these things together. She has to do a better job at actually, holding these events, making sure people can actually get in, that things are booked, and that everything is kosher. The last time she had something going on, she in Atlanta, her other conference, she complained about coming out of pocket and having to, be out of pocket $7,000 or $8,000, and she got there and she had to work. She had to fold up chairs and things like that. Look, the days of like that complaining are over. Like, you should have learned the lessons from the previous experience and improved upon the plan so that you wouldn't repeat it. But we find her once again, Miss Pat, making excuses, and so now she's blaming the folks that are like owning the venue, that are in charge of that venue, and then saying, oh, it's because this was all donation based. So in part, she's spreading some blame to the supporters, but it gets even worse. But
then when you get events that are free, like this event is supposed to be free, right? We're at the park. They got a field, and we booked this a month ago. Okay, they told us ain't nothing on our schedule, and he told me I turned your people away yesterday. So y'all heard what I said to him. So everybody came in, y'all came in yesterday. I want to say I'm kind of upset with y'all too, though. I mean, y'all can tell me if I'm.
So there's a lot of background noise going on. There's people in the back, like having conversations, but I listened to this like 2 or 3 times, right, to get everything. So basically what she's saying, right, is that she booked the location a month ago, and all of a sudden, like, there's an issue. Look, this is on her. It's her responsibility to make sure that everything is still on, that everything is still set up. for her like to get there or to find out, right, that her people were turned away the day before. Now look, this is another thing. Why did she get there a day after? Like, why wasn't she there the day before like everyone else? Now all of a sudden she comes the day after and finds this out. Like this is really interesting, Miss Pat. Like, I'm just saying, like, this to me, I think this is a grift, and I'm gonna tell you why I think that is as we go along. But because what she's gonna do is basically ask for money.
Oh,
She's
but
gonna
hold on.
ask for more money.
Oh, but hold on. Wait a minute. Let me now. Okay, she came the day after, but I thought she came that day and was late because of the car incident. That's when they
Right.
were turning people away, right? Or was it the day after that happened? That's
Now,
interesting.
yeah, so according to what she's saying, I guess she arrived this day that she's talking, right? But the event started yesterday, and they were turning people away yesterday. And what she's gonna do, she's gonna say, "Well, why did nobody email me saying that they were turned away?" So she started to blame the supporters as to why, like, it turned out this way. But look, by that time they were already turning people away. It wasn't their fault. But what she's gonna do is she's gonna shift the blame to them, shift the blame to the venue owners, and she's gonna try to say, "Oh, like, I'm in a dilemma. I'm tired of doing this." That's what she's doing. So you'll see. But yeah, like, the event started yesterday, and they were turning people away. Now she's here today. Why
But
didn't you
wait a
get
minute.
there
I thought she
yesterday?
was there the day before too, and she was
Mm-hmm.
just there that second day, giving her synopsis of everything. That's what my impression of it was.
Mm-hmm. But if you listen to it, what she's saying is that nobody told her, any of her supporters, all of the people that came yesterday, never said that they were being turned away. Watch this now. Watch this. Watch this.
I'm wrong if I should be feeling this way. But for all of y'all that showed up yesterday and you let somebody tell you that there's not an event here at all this weekend, and then y'all went home and not now none of y'all emailed me, you have not contacted me, and you think that I have put all of this promotion in. I emailed y'all, I went live, I told y'all I was coming. Y'all think I did all that shit for nothing?
Okay, so you just heard her say that, right? So that's indicating that she wasn't there yesterday.
Yeah, that's because of the car thing.
Okay,
Yeah,
but
they had her
still,
car taken, and she was running late.
right. But what she's saying is right. But okay. So what she's saying though is that she wasn't aware of it until today. She wasn't aware of it. Look, all of this. This is what I'm saying, right? This is her fault. For her not to have adequate communication with anybody that's there, right?
Yeah, that is kind of odd. I think that's very odd because if I were getting a bunch of people coming, I would really secure for those people's sake that everything's straight. You know what I'm saying? Or I'd have another person or an event planner. I would, since she came out for money anyway, I would have paid somebody as a backup event planner or whatever to make sure that everything is going smoothly because one person can't do all of that. Because if something can happen to that one person, you know what I mean?
Right, right.
So
That's
yeah,
the
that's
other
where I
thing.
think
Yeah,
I didn't have the impression she had anybody helping her at all. Maybe was
right.
Q Butter even there? Because you would have thought Q Butter would have helped her too. You know what I'm saying? If he was supposed to be there, he would have been there instead of her. Or maybe they were all together or something, and something happened to her car and they were running all late. But somehow or another, they should have made a message, an emergency message that, oh my goodness, I'm running late for this because of something happening, you know? But
And it's a
parking her
whole,
car somewhere, I would have secured my car now. I can't
yeah,
deal with parking places I'm going to get towed. I will
right.
not do that because that's upsetting to me.
Yeah. And it's a whole day. I mean, this is a whole different day. And now she's talking about why didn't like any of the people that were being turned away email her, let her know? And then she's going to say, oh, no, I bet if y'all had to pay and there was a fee, I bet y'all would have been emailing me out of the yin yang. Well, yeah, that's human. Like, that's human behavior. For her to be upset about what people would do had they did pay a ticket price, like that is being petty, really, really petty. Look, of course, if a person had paid, yeah, they're going to be like, what in the world is going on? And they're going to get on the phone, they're going to email, and they're going to ask for their money back. So you didn't anticipate that something of this nature could happen. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, for her, what she should have did is had a ticket price and added all of the money that she thought that she would have to spend extra into that price. That way it wouldn't be, too much out of her pocket. And, if she wanted to give some of the money back, give some of the money back later. Like, I don't think that she knows what she's doing. And well, you know what? I take that back. I think she knows exactly what she's doing. She's grifting. Because what she's going to do next is she's going to ask for cash apps. She's going to ask for money. She's going to ask for donations. See, what they do, Miss Pat, is they play this sob story. Umar is doing it right now. Umar talking about, oh, I need 40,000 to keep the school. Look, they always say something has happened that's wild and crazy, that they need emergency money, that it's all for a good reason, and they act as though they had no part in it as to like why the emergency situation has occurred. They try to pretend, right, that, oh, I'm a victim, like this is like came out of nowhere, and look, help me, like it's some type of like sorrow story. So this is what they do. And like I've just noticed this pattern, Miss Pat. Like I'm noticing this pattern, but I mean, we'll see what, like, all right, let's keep going.
I ain't had not one of y'all email me and verify if what this busted ass nigga told y'all in the building was true or not. Instead, y'all just decided not to come back today. Because since he told y'all yesterday there's no events here, like there's supposed to be 50 people here. And they showed up yesterday. He sent y'all home. And then none of y'all email me and say, Mechee, we got sent away. What's going on? Is this true? Y'all just decided to stay in the bed because that's the dilemma here, right?
No, so she just made, she put her own people down right there. Her own supporters, the people that actually came out talking about, oh, y'all just sat in the bed. How you know what them people was doing? No, what it is.
That's
Right.
hilarious about the bed.
Yeah, I know, right? But these are people who support her that decided to take time out of their day and actually show up. And for her to put those people down like that and disrespect them, that shows me a lot. It shows me a lot about her and her true motivations here. Now she's trying to blame the supporters for her failure, right, of securing the venue and ensuring that folks were actually, allowed to be there. Somebody dropped the ball, because trust and believe, if they had booked that, and there was proof of it, those people would they would have to let them in there, or they would have to give them some type of compensation, or face court action, face getting sued.
You
But
know,
she's
I
not
didn't
talking
even
about
think
no
about
suing.
that.
Yeah,
Wow.
she's not talking about anything of taking no type of legal action. Do you know why? I surmise that it is because it was never booked to begin with. Like they may have thought it was booked, but they didn't follow up. That's a day problem. Like that's a Mechee problem, Team Mechee problem. Like that is an issue with her and her team. That has nothing to do with that venue, and it has nothing to do with the supporters. So there were
Well, I
50
know
people,
Chicago can't be that ass backwards now. Come on.
man.
They got a reputation to uphold, you know. I wouldn't want to put that
Hilarious.
on me. I mean, if I were in Chicago, I love Chicago. That was going to be one of my main cities I was going to move to after I graduated from school, but I chose Houston instead.
Hmm.
But don't pick on my Chicago now, because she trying to make out like Chicago. They're a bunch of country bumpkins who can't plan anything, and I'm like, no, no, no. You should have,
Hmm.
you should have secured it. And in Houston, when they came to Houston, they did a good job. I mean, they they had the venue, they had it all secured. And I don't remember how many people were there. There were quite a few. I would say 200 or 300, which is a nice little show because that place is small that she could get, but it was nice and cozy. And if she could have done the same thing in Chicago, but Chicago is huge. I mean, they would have had a lot of people from Chicago if she had planned that thing right. I mean, oh man, that would have been
Yeah,
out. It would have been over the top.
I can imagine. I mean, this is a large city, and she's talking about okay, like it was 50 people there yesterday, right? And like they sent everybody home, and they told them there's no event being planned here. Look, like,
Oh my God,
that
that's
right? That
terrible.
is that is like that is simply like unacceptable. It's unacceptable for somebody that is holding events, holding conventions, you know, supposedly trying to be like professional and do something for something like this to occur and for her to like blame her supporters and actually, what I'm saying, make a like sly remark, what I'm saying, towards them. Like that's really unfortunate. Like, like it really is. I gave her the benefit of the doubt in Atlanta, but like this time, no, like this is all her. And I remember her saying, like, during that Atlanta debacle, she made a couple of streams, right? And she was like, there's no hope for the black community. Like, the only way that we can make it is if people individually, say, you know what, I'm gonna go to school. I'm gonna get an education. I'm gonna get married. I'm gonna live right individually on an individual level. And if enough of them do that, then maybe they'll have something. But just trying to just get all together, it doesn't work. So she's still trying this, like that same thing. Even her, after her saying that, she's still trying to do this all get together deal, and it's not, as we can see, it's not working. It's not working. And she wants to blame the supporters. She wants to blame folks. Now, okay, so the Houston event was what, like last year?
Oh no, Houston was years ago. That was before COVID. Back in I think on the other, in the other conference, I said it was like 2017 or
Oh,
18 or
that was
something
a
like that.
long. Oh
It was
yeah,
a
that.
real
Oh,
long time
oh
ago.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And they
That
were
was that
just
was
getting
before
started with
Atlanta.
those conferences. Yeah, they
Hmm.
were doing real well. I mean, it was very nice. But at the
Hmm.
same, they even had vendors there. They had people serving food if you wanted to buy lunch. They had, all those people. I described it to you in that other one. And I thought they did fantastic. That's why I really believed in her, because I saw her come and actually come down. And they did have, she didn't start teaching business classes yet and all that kind of stuff at that time. But Q Butter was there, and he was starting his school and everything. And they were just out of sight. I mean, they did a great job. And that's why I
Mm.
still have faith in them. But I think now times are changing. You know, the economy is not very good. We're in fear of what's going on with the government and everything, and we're getting no real comfort for that. And so people are unstable, you know, and when you try to give these events to get people to get together, they feel a little edgy, you know. Now she's been a little critical of people lately. She's always been kind of like that, but it's sort of like to bump you up, to encourage you to get up off your butt and do better. But now it's sounding more like scolding than just encouraging people. It's like a teacher who tells you, now you got that problem wrong, and I know you can do better than that. You know, that's good. That's good that a teacher will do that for you. But at the same time, you got the teacher in the classroom constantly putting you down for getting something wrong. And yes, we are getting it wrong, if you will, but constantly being scolded is not encouragement either. So there's a thin line between that when you're encouraging groups of people. And people right now, we are in a bit of a quandary. There's a different climate in this country right now, and people are very sensitive. So, and then she lost, you know, that lady that she was with, you know, the goddess masterpiece lady. She turned on Michi, and I couldn't believe it. I cannot believe she turned
Wow.
on Mechee X. It is wild. I mean,
Yeah.
and they're really at each other's throat. And I'm like, first of all, neither one of them, it shouldn't be worth it to either one of them to have that type of conflict. If they don't like each other anymore, then go your own separate ways. Be at peace. You know, I feel like as far as Goddess Masterpiece is concerned, she's got a new, you know, a life, and she's living her life. You know, I guess she's doing okay. You know, I don't really know because I don't watch her or anything. But I'm disappointed to hear that the one person that she had respect for, now she can't get along with him anymore. And Michi's just as driven as to getting on her case, just like she did with Vicky Dillard and a few of the others in the Fly Nubian Queen group. See, the Fly Nubian Queens all turned on each other like snakes. Okay, they all turned on each other. And instead of supporting each other as women, and women can do that sometimes, they can be very unforgiving, very vindictive, and it's a part of their protectiveness of their circle, if you will. It's like a woman protects her family and her children, so she kind of lashes out at anybody else that comes in that sphere. But that is not appropriate for something like this. I mean, unfortunately, this is what has happened, and it's really too bad because you know, I saw some improvement in Goddess Masterpiece. I think she's trying to live a good adult life. And, you know, of course, she has problems like everybody else. But I pray for her that she can continue to improve and she has someone in her life that cares about her and she can get together with her family and all that. But families are complicated. So I leave that alone. And since she doesn't welcome me in her sphere, I just as soon leave it alone and wish her the best. But at the same time with Mechee X, now Mechee X shouldn't even be bothered with Goddess Masterpiece anymore. You know, that's not even two of the same level of people, you know? So, but she does get upset about it, and she's expressed that on a couple of her videos. I think it'd be interesting for you to listen to them if you want to take the time. I mean, it's really silly stuff between ladies, but I mean, this is the kind of stuff that happens in our community that needs to stop because we don't have time for that anymore. We got to move on. And we can look on to leaders and stuff, but at the time we're at the point now leaders are not not important to us anymore. We can't have leaders anymore. There will be no more Malcolm X. There will be no more Martin Luther King. There will be no more uh, Farrakhan, and those people are gone. Okay, because we're just not going to have that leadership anymore. So we just have to do for ourselves and respect one another. That's the best we can do at this point.
Yeah, that's really the best that we can do. Very well put, very well said. I just, from the Atlanta, convention, I, gave her the benefit of the doubt. I said, look, unfortunate things happened, and it was all for a good reason. There was, a lot of speakers there. There were some, some issues that could have been, handled better, done better. But it's been a long time since the Houston convention, and it's all been going downhill since then. To me, I think this is a lot worse than Atlanta. I remember that debacle from 2023, and this is a lot worse. They couldn't even get in the venue. They couldn't even get inside of the venue. They had to hold the quote unquote convention outside, and she's sitting out here
Oh my goodness, yeah.
like begging for money, asking for money, putting the blame on the supporters, saying that she was late, that they supposedly wasn't on the schedule, and nobody sent her an email to say, oh, we're being turned away. Like there's all type of excuses. Like I'm really like taken aback by how people would just try to like skirt accountability at any good given opportunity. Look, at what point is she going to say, I messed up? Like I should have done this, I should have done that. And because I didn't do these things, like this is turning out terribly. But instead, what she's doing is saying she's in a quote unquote dilemma. She's saying she's tired of doing this. Tired, tired of doing it, but she wants to do it. Like, look, you either do these things correctly, charge a ticket price, or don't do them at all. Don't do them at all.
Yeah, there's got to be a formula for this.
Yeah, there's a formula
If it
for
were
it, but
me, I would have had
yeah,
a professional event planner do it and put it on them. I mean, I
yeah,
don't like
hire
taking
an event
chances like
planner.
that.
And she's gonna say later here, oh, I'm no event planner. Well, look, you obviously need one. Look at what happened in Atlanta. And now look what happened here. This is on you. This is on her, man. Like this is on nobody else but her. And for her to, to get up here and ask for more money and blame her supporters, you know, look, like I'm just taken aback by it. Like, like it's really, something that, the black community is getting very like sick of, man. They're getting sick of the Hidden History Museum. They're getting sick of Umar's school. They're getting sick of the fake Black Wall Street, the Tulsa Fund. And now they're getting sick of this, of these Mechee conventions. Folks are getting tired of being, grifted and fooled. And like I call it out when I see it. You know what I mean? Like I just gotta call it out. Folks are
Well,
getting tired of that.
you may have a point because I didn't even think of it like that because I have so much confidence in what Michi's intentions was. I really was for her because she was the one person who did try to hold it down for everybody instead of take everybody's money. Uh, but when you plan stuff like this and it doesn't go through, it's a bad reflection, and it's unfortunate because it's going to compromise people willing to spend any money, especially on the school, and have the confidence that they're going to be really doing what they need to do. So they definitely need to take a different approach and hire good professionals that are going to plan these things correctly, or even try a different approach, period, you know?
Yeah, to like, you know what I'm saying, bring it to like, you know, saying something really simple. This is not incompetence. This is grifting. It's not incompetence. Like I gave her a pass for 2023 in Atlanta and said like it was incompetence, but this time like this is grifting. This is grifting, man. Like, you know, like there's no other way to put it, man, other than saying that it's grifting. Like she's not this dumb. You are not like this ignorant. Like not to hire an event planner or charge a ticket price, right, to cover everything, including your own, you know, out of pocket expenses and things of that nature. Like, look, like you can't be like this ignorant. So it has to be grifting. It has to be grifting. She's done this too many times for this not to be grifting. And see, that's what I'm looking at. Like, look, there a pattern has emerged. One time, shame on shame on you. Two times, that's all on me. And see, that's what I'm, you know, that's what I'm saying. Like, folks give people second chances, other opportunities to say, okay, well, okay, this was, you know, like an unfortunate situation. Maybe she didn't know, you know what I mean? I'm looking at her intentions. She sounds like she really means what she is talking about, you know, things of that nature. But look, at some point, if it continues to go on, you have no choice but to say, this is grifting. It's not incompetence. It's grifting. Check this out. Check this out.
When it don't cost y'all shit to do something, y'all have not sacrificed anything. So if this was a paid event and y'all had paid $50 to be at this event this weekend, guess what y'all would have did? Y'all would have emailed the fuck out of me. They said it's not an event here, Mechee. We can't get in the building. I'm gonna need a refund. My email would have blew up yesterday, 15 minutes after the event was supposed to start, when I wasn't here yet, and the dude told y'all couldn't get in.
All right. So this goes to what I said earlier. Look, that is human nature. That is human nature. Look, if somebody paid for something and they didn't get it, yes, they're gonna make sure that they're gonna ensure, right, that they either get their money back or they get what it is that they paid for. Why is she upset about human nature? Like she decided to have a donation like event set up like this, and now wants to complain about it. Like this was her idea. See, that's the thing is people they come up with these ideas, it sound great, and then when it don't work out, they want to blame any and everybody else except for them. They were the ones that planned the event. She wanted it to be this type of donation style. See what I mean? Like, that's what I'm saying. And, you know, we all know how people do. That's how people do. So now she want to, like, get angry at her supporters and say, oh, all y'all just want to do is just stay in the bed all day. Bro, like, man, I'm telling you. Yeah.
That is hilarious. Well, you
I'm
know,
telling you,
I
man.
wish I could stay in the bed all day, boy. Because on the days off, I have more work to do than when I'm working. But you know
I
what?
know, right?
She shouldn't talk to people like that, like they're children or something either. I mean, nope, that's not going to help encourage anything.
I know it
Oh,
was funny, but it was like, you know, I'm looking at it like this. These are people who support you. They support you, man, and they came out to your event. And you're going to talk about your people like that? You know, and shift the blame on them? Look, there was nothing that she could have done anyway because this is the day after and she's still sitting outside. Think about it. There was nothing, even if they did email her, call her and say, look, we've been turned away from this venue. What would she have done anyway? Because this is an entire day after that, right? And she is sitting outside. I mean, this is ridiculous.
now, see, I
But
didn't
because
even think about that. that she couldn't have
Yeah,
done anything even if they called. I didn't understand. Yeah, I didn't I didn't
because
think about that. Because what if she
yeah,
was gone and they called? See, that's why she should have had another person there as a
hmm
you know, to verify everything, to make sure that the person with the venue, she should have met with the guy. It gave me the impression she didn't even meet the guy who opened up the building, who was in charge of that building. You know, she didn't talk to him directly, right?
right. This turned out to be, you know what? It turned out to be a janky convention. They are outside now, outside of the venue. And she was just talking to the guy. He was like, "Oh, I got some chairs. I got some chairs. Look, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if nobody showed up at all on that second day. No one showed up because if I'd have showed up and you know, I would have found out. Oh, wait a minute, what's going on here? We're outside in this heat. We are outside now, and it's supposed to be inside. I'm like, no, this is some
And you
type of
know, it
grift.
does get hot in
Uh-uh.
Chicago. It does. Those people don't
Yeah, we
like the heat.
outside. It's the summertime. It's in the middle of August now, so I know it's hot. You know what I mean? It gotta be hot, you know.
Yeah,
Well, I
you
don't
could
know.
get a
Maybe it's
stroke
not,
out
but
there
you
in
know what I
that.
mean. But my thing is, because I'm seeing her with this dark black, and it looks like it's a little coat on. Okay, so even if it's not outside, not hot, we are outside. That's not what I signed up for. Like, that's not what I thought it was going to be, is to be outside. And it looked like, I don't know if it's raining out there or what. I mean, look, this is like pathetic. It really is. But just like I said, folks want to skirt accountability, not say, you know what, this is my fault. You know, this got messed up and I'm going to learn from it. I'm going to change something up. Here she is talking about she's in a dilemma. That makes no
Because it
sense.
didn't cost y'all shit to come up here. Guess what? Y'all ain't asked me nothing. But you know who it cost to be here? Me. It cost me over 3,000 motherfucking dollars to be here.
Here go the grift.
See,
Here is
that's
the
why she
grift.
should have spent
Here is
money
the
to secure the spot. You
right, but
know,
this is the grift though. This is where the grift comes in because she said at the Atlanta convention that she spent out of pocket $7,000 to $8,000. Right? She made sure she put a number on it. How about she did the same thing here? She put a number on it, and she made sure to say that it cost me money to come here. It cost me $3,000. So what she's doing, without saying it, she's saying, I need some money. I spent money to be here. It turned out to be a terrible situation, of which is my own creation, right? But I need y'all to give me some money for this messed up situation that I created. That's what she's doing. Like I've caught on to it. Like it only takes twice. Like, if I see this twice, it's a pattern. It's obviously a pattern. Like, she's doing the same thing. She's saying she didn't came out of pocket. It didn't cost her money. She is tired of doing this. She blaming her supporters. She's saying the black community won't come together. The same stuff that she said after the Atlanta one. I'm telling you, this is classic grifting. It's a grift. That's what it is.
Between plane flights, between Airbnb stays, between feeding myself, between all of the paperwork that I paid to print off to fucking give y'all for the event and shit like that. I paid for it. See, so it didn't cost y'all nothing, but it cost me a whole lot.
I mean, but it would have cost you something anyway. Okay, Miss Pat, think about this. Let's just say they were able to get in there, right? It still would have cost her money to do all of those things, the same amount of money. Why are you complaining? It would have cost her the same amount of money for the car rental, for the hotel, to feed herself, to do all of that. Like, it still would have cost her money. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, what she's doing is she's using this situation to beg for money, to say, I'm in a tight position. I didn't spent money, and this event is, has went down the rabbit hole, and now I want y'all, I want y'all help. Like Miss Pat, this is to me like it. It is so obvious to see what she's doing. So obvious.
Well, the thing is, I've sent money to Mechee X for her classes and for anything she's actually sold that I received something. I don't just donate to any causes unless I'm going to be there. So when she came to Houston, I did buy a ticket. Also, with the school, now I don't mind making donations to schools, like to the science fair and all that kind of stuff, because I see the work is being done, and it's not a lot of money. I don't have a lot of money to donate, so it's probably a pittance in comparison to what they actually should get. But I principally do not go around giving people money. They either have the money through loans, or they can apply for loans. They can apply for money from the government, or whatever the case may be, grants. They can write for grants, all things like that. If they really need to do stuff like this, they shouldn't expect the general public to come up with it unless they're just buying a ticket. And maybe she should expect people to buy tickets, because it's not fair to, if it's not fair to her, she's spending all this money, then she should expect people to buy tickets to stuff like this, and then have something to present when they get there, and make sure the place is reserved, like you said. I mean, something, like I said, something fell through, and I don't understand what happened. I mean, it's unfortunate. And if it is a grift, that would be a terrible thing, because I can't believe she would go there when, after all this time, people put their trust in her. You know what I'm saying? And it's not her that people trust; it's the process that she's offering. So that's what I believe is going on. But there are people, who are against her. And I don't want to be one of those people, because I believe in what she's tried to do. But I think now she needs to turn the corner, so to speak, and take a different approach, because this approach isn't, it's not going to work anymore, simply because of the climate that we're in this country right now. People are struggling. I mean, we're in a terrible, you know, political climate, and
Yeah, yeah. I think,
it's
yeah,
frightening. It really is.
yeah. Like you know what? I agree with you. I think right now is not the time for her specifically, to be doing conventions or conferences. Like, she doesn't have a lot of money coming through, you know, like a person like Boyce Watkins, right? That holds these all black national conventions. Now he can still do that because that brother is in a different stratosphere when it comes to donations, it comes to organization, it comes to professionalism. But she has a hodgepodge of people. They kind of go around, kind of do it kind of janky to begin with. And with this environment, if you don't know what you're doing, if you don't have an event planner, just like you said, that is why those people have jobs, right? They do events, like they organize events for people to come in. If she doesn't have an event planner, and she's not charging a ticket price, like this is really not the optimal economic environment or time right now to be, for her specifically, to be doing these events. Like, it's obvious to me, even after Atlanta, like Atlanta should have given her a wake-up call. Like, look, you are expected to learn from previous experiences. If you're not learning from those experiences, then you're doomed to repeat them. So now she has a whole nother problem going on. And I'm sitting here like, what? Like, this is your fault. You didn't make sure that the event was actually booked. You didn't ensure that. And then, just like you said, she complained about a car ticket or getting towed or something like that. Why aren't you prepared about like the area, knowing about what's where you need to park, where you need to go? And she wasn't there on the first day. This is the second day right here. And she's complaining about something that happened on the first day. And now nobody's there because everybody came on the first day. Think about it. In Atlanta, most people came that first day. Why didn't she come the first day? That is when the most people come. She came and appeared there on the second day. Look, I'm just looking at this, and this is worse than Atlanta in 2023. It is the most botched event that I've ever heard of or seen. I've never like heard of anything of this nature. People show up to an event and it's not even booked. They turned the people away. And then she got the nerve to sit up here and down the people. Like I'm like, look, she need to get out of this business. Get
What?
out of the business, you
Well,
know.
they told her to try to apologize to the people, and she didn't want to do that either. I would have apologized that that happened to those people. I would have been so upset. I mean, um, and it's not even about the money. They didn't donate any money, so but that it's not about the money. Time is a lot more important than money. You know what I'm saying? The fact that they even took the time to show up. I mean,
Exactly.
I would have been apologizing. I really would
That's what I'm
have.
saying. Those people took time out of their long, busy days, to support you. They came out to this event, and for you to turn around and try to shift blame on them as to why this all happened. I mean, that is the most like. First of all, it's asinine, very foolish, very, very foolish, and very selfish of her. You know, I am like really taken aback by how she talked about her supporters. Like these folks came out to try to show you support. They were turned away. Now I hadn't heard of people complaining. Now look, she's like, oh, why didn't they send me an email and say, that we were turned away? Well, you know what they didn't do? They didn't go online and trash you either. I didn't hear of anybody, coming out with a video and saying, you know what, Mechee X ain't ish. We are here right now, and it ain't no event at all. Right?
Oh my goodness,
They
you
could
know
have done
that's
that.
true.
Right.
That's true. Because
And
they
they
did
didn't
that to
do that.
Zaza Ali. They did that to her. They got
Yeah.
online and got on her case. Now, I don't think it's the same thing by all means.
Mm,
But yeah, people will do that. They will out you out there
yeah.
for
Yeah.
that.
So she, and for her not to think about that and trash them people. They were told to go home and they went home. They didn't say a word, right? And for her to say, "Oh, y'all must," so all y'all wanted to do was sleep all day, in the bed. I'm like, bro, like, okay, really, really. So that's why when I heard about this, because I didn't know about this until someone told me about it, and I said, okay, let me look at the video. All I had to do was watch this video, and I was like, oh, you know what? I gotta go live about this.
The
I
bed.
gotta go live. Hmm. I
Yeah, that
gotta go
was
live
crazy.
because
That was crazy. She did say that before about something like with the Atlanta thing. She did accuse them of being unavailable the second day, sleeping in or whatever the case would be, especially the speakers. She was upset with the speakers this time with the Atlanta because she expected them to come the second day, especially Angela Stanton. She was supposed to come the second day so she could give her money, and Angela Stanton didn't show up or something like that. I don't remember exactly what happened, but that's what caused a rift between her and Angela Stanton. I think they're both good ladies. and trying to do good things. So sometimes people can't work together. There, you got two strong personalities that can't work together, but they're all meaning well. But that's not good. We got to change that. If we're all
Yeah,
going to be planning stuff and trying to give good things to the people, and we got to leave all that stuff behind. But that was a big problem for for Angela Stanton not to show up, and Michi had the intention of giving her some money for showing up and speaking and donating to her. The lady, the center, the women's center that Angela Stanton was doing. So, I contribute to her center too from time to time because I believe in what she's doing. Um, and so, I get it. I mean, people need to learn to work together instead of nitpicking at each other, picking on each other like little kindergartners. I mean, that they got to stop that mess.
that's
You know,
right.
but now in Chicago, I couldn't I was confused as I don't know what happened. I was so confused. You
Yeah,
know?
like I'm really like taken aback. That's sort of why I was, like I done it because I was like, this is worth talking about because just the unmitigated gall for her to lash out at her supporters, blame everybody, blame the venue owners, blame the people that were, in charge of the venue for all of this when it was clearly her responsibility. All of this is clearly on her. Like there's no doubt, like there is no doubt that this is her fault. Her and her team or whoever she had dropped the ball. That venue was not booked. I'm telling you, it was
Yeah,
not
and
booked.
who was on that team? I would like to know how many people were involved in planning this. The only person I know who could have been with her was Q Butter, but I guess it's none of my business because I didn't go up there. But I'm curious so that this
Well, do
cannot
you know
happen
why it is
again.
our business though? You know what, Miss Pat, it is our business because what she's done is she's gotten online on a worldwide platform and she's up here complaining about something to everyone. So it is our business. Like she made it our business. So now that she put it up here, look, it's up
Yeah.
for fair game. It's up for fair criticism. If you put it out there, don't be upset when somebody criticizes it. That is what happens to a lot of these folks. They think they can get online and fool people, and for a period of time they do, but at some point the jig is up. The jig is up, sister. This
Oh my
grifting
goodness.
jig is up. Yeah. This
Yeah.
grifting jig is up. And folks like me are gonna call it out. Like I'm gonna call it out. So basically that's
Well,
that's what I
she
gotta
did
say on that.
mention that she didn't want to do this anymore, and but she keeps doing it again.
Right. She
See,
keeps talking
and if
about
I
being
say
in a
I'm not
dilemma.
doing something again, I mean it, and I'm not doing it again. That's the
She
whole thing right
She
there.
said that the last time too in
Exactly.
2023. Right. She said that then, and now she's saying it again. Watch this. Watch
And
this.
it would have been nice if the people that were supposed to be here would have at least said Michi. It's common sense. Like Michi wouldn't have done all of the shit that she did. She wouldn't have said what she said. She wouldn't have promoted this event if she wasn't gonna be here. Let me hit Michi up and ask Michi what's going on. And none of y'all thought to do that. You know why? Because you ain't paid for shit to be here. So this my dilemma, y'all. This my dilemma. How the fuck I'm supposed to keep doing this shit? Cause I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm tired of the black community. I really am. my sister and Tiff, she don't be over there being quiet because I'm on loud, nigga. You're not giving up on that.
All right. So look, like she's obviously not that angry, laughing and smiling and kikiing up. Kikiing it up with everybody, talking about she's in a dilemma. You know what I mean? And she tired of doing this, but she laughing at the same time. Look, she laughing in y'all faces and asking y'all for money. And it's a bunch of fools out here falling for it. Look, I'm just gonna call it out, bro. Like this is a grift. It's a straight up, saying grift. That that's what I'm seeing here. She's not tired of it. She's using this as a way to try to get some money off of people. It's just like Tariq Nasheed with the Hidden History Museum. It's just like Umar Johnson with the school. Just like Jay Morrison with the Black Wall Street. This is the same thing. Like it's a grift. And folks are getting, tired of it. And you know what? I want to shout out to Harker Bay for calling that out with the Hidden History Museum. I think me and him were the first people to talk about that Hidden History Museum. Look, we give people an opportunity, right, to actually put up a shut up, to actually, to do what they say that they, are going to do. And when they don't do it, we are here to say, look, like, what are you doing? Like, this is not adding up. Something's not right. Where is this money? Where is that money? Like, all of this money that you collected from people, look, to try to victimize a community that has already been victimized for hundreds of years, is like one of the most like terrible things that anybody can do. And we're tired. No, we are tired of it. Miss Pat, we are tired of it. And look at her laughing here. Like, this is pathetic.
Chantel's like, it's like, no, you got to keep going. But I'm tired, y'all. I'm tired. This was like, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. This is my last ditch effort to be like, I'm trying to find a way to help the community on some real shit. I said, well, maybe if I don't put all of it on my back and I don't got to do it all by myself, then I could probably make this happen. Y'all find the locations in y'all city. Get a free place. And if you got some money and you want to pay for a venue, by all means, you can do that too, right? But I'm just trying to tell you, you don't have to spend no money. Go to your local library, go to your rec centers, but don't go to one with a shitty ass nigga like the one who working here. Because I'm finna go to jail. But every time I come to Chicago, I'll be in Chantel City because people I'm trying to be good today.
See, I don't get this. Like, I don't get this. So now what she's trying to say is that I guess she was so angry about not being able to get into the venue. She talking smack about the guy that's in charge of the venue, when really at the end of the day, this is all on her. Like, it's her responsibility to make sure, right, that the event is still on, that everything is still a go. Hey, I didn't even realize you had left.
Oh no, actually, I was trying to reset my phone and I had to turn it off and on. Um,
Oh, okay.
yeah, well, you know what? I didn't even make a point that she was laughing about it. I think it's just a kind of like a form of sarcasm on her part. Like sometimes people laugh to keep from crying, so to speak. um I'm giving her the benefit of that as far as that is concerned, because it's sort of like it's kind of weird that people do things and you expect something of them and then they can't do it. But at the same time, this was an event that was could have been very, very good if it was planned correctly, or planned by someone who could get the professional results. Because Chicago is a great city to go to do these things. If she had done this in Philadelphia, if she had done this in Houston again, if she had done, she's supposed to go to LA because she has some people in LA she's working with. I hope she can get that to do well, because LA is a great city to do, even though now there's some problems in California. Okay, some very serious problems. But to get the results that you're getting and to help people, you gotta have them believe in you. You gotta have them trust you. And then being a woman and being a single woman at that, at least that I know of. They may also be giving her a hard time just because of that as well. Because sometimes we can be kind of hard on women, but then again, I think the men. I like to see men lead, you know, and women be more protected. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah,
don't.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
really don't
Like,
want her to be on the forefront like that. She should have somebody she's with. Like, that's why I like Q Butter being there. You know,
yeah, like I
because
just don't know. Okay,
yeah,
so like like I know that you're giving her the benefit of the doubt, and I did that in Atlanta in 2023. I gave her the benefit of the doubt. I said, look, she got great intentions. She might not really know what she's doing all the way, so it's a little bit of ignorance there, but for it to be now 2025 and we're hearing a lot of the same things. Oh, I had to come out of pocket. So obviously the donation like method still didn't stop that situation from happening. So you need to charge a ticket price and include all of those expenses and into the ticket price so that you don't be out of money like that. Or hire an event planner. Hire someone that is in charge of all of that, can do that, organize it, set a price, and call it a day. But no, that's not what we have. We don't have professionalism here. We got janky conferences and janky conventions going on. They are outside, y'all. They are outside of a venue trying to hold a convention. Outside, y'all. Look, like she is so lucky that none of those people that showed up didn't pull out their cell phone and started going all the way in. Like I'm telling you, I am telling you, because people are seriously, Miss Pat, people seriously are getting tired of being grifted. They are tired of seeing these quote unquote pro blacks on these channels saying all of these things and really not doing anything, not really helping at all. You go to an event and it's like you feel like you've been robbed. Like, look,
and the pro black thing is outdated now.
yeah,
I think that's outdated. Let's be pro people. Let's be pro the United States and its citizens, because we got
right.
problems with this whole country and everybody's suffering. Okay,
Yeah,
let's be pro people. We don't have time to do all that nitpicking anymore. Now there are identity issues that we all need to address, but respect for people is probably should be emphasizing, because all of the I noticed that the pro quote unquote black community is not really pro black. I mean, a lot of those people were just taking money, like you said,
yeah,
and she may be one of them, she may not be, but after a while, you don't want to keep hearing that, because it gets toxic after a while. You know what I'm saying? You wake up every
yeah,
day, you got to hear, oh, because and black people are getting this and black people are getting that. I walk out my door, I got to look both ways, just if I'm black. That's very depressing. So we still got to live life. You know what I'm saying?
that's
So
right.
there should be emphasis on productivity, exclusivity, making sure there's excellence, education, your belief system intact. All of that should be more important. And last but not least, family structure. Putting
Exactly.
emphasis on family. See, I couldn't agree with Mechee X on everything, because she did speak against Martin Luther King. I didn't agree with her on that, because back in that time, she wasn't even born back then. So it's hard to speak for what they should have been doing back then. It was so different back then. Believe me, it was different. Um, Martin Luther King, he didn't live past 40 because of what he did. Okay. Same thing with Malcolm X. He had to be a brave man to do what he did. And they put their families on the line, y'all. They put how many black activists now are putting any family members on the line? Their families aren't risking their lives. They're not bombing their house or anything like that. Not that I would want that. But they should not criticize those people or complain about those people whatsoever because they literally put their life on the line.
And
Simple
this
as
is
that.
exactly. And something that you said that was so profound when you said pro-black is really not pro-black anymore. That is so true. What we have out here now are black against black now. We've got something called FBA versus the Africans going on, and
Oh,
it's
yeah.
viral all on social media. All of this division, like it's really, in actuality, it's not unification, it's division. And people can't get anywhere being divided like that. We got folks that are calling people tethers. We got folks doing the colorism thing. Like, it's stronger now than ever before. And
Yeah, that's
this is
true.
not going to work. This
That's
is not going
true.
to work. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, it's not, this is a divide and conquer strategy going on overall. Look, we can't get in. As long as we keep infighting, as long as there's light skin versus dark skin, FBA versus Africans, all of these other like things going on, like there is going to be no unification and there's going to be no way for us to actually get anything done. As long as we keep fighting, and they want to keep us, fighting and laughing at each other and picking fun at each other, because they know that a divided house cannot stand. A divided house cannot stand. That is so true. So that's exactly what's going on. And I totally agree with you. We need to focus more on economics, focus more on excellence, focus more on family structure. All of those things are actually what's really, really important at the end of the day. So like I totally agree with you. And look, I'm not saying that I hate this woman here, Mechee X. I'm not saying that I have a
Oh, no, I don't think you
grudge
mean that
or
at
anything
all.
like
Of
that. What
course
I'm
not.
saying is that, look, accountability, we have to hold each other accountable. That is going to actually, that is actually going to help us. It actually helps us to see our own faults and to improve. That's really what it is. But we've noticed people are so, apprehensive about anybody having any criticism launched at them, as though nobody's supposed to say anything. Look, we're not going to be able to get to the root of the problem, being able to, solve issues, if we don't want to actually like talk to each other and actually hold each other accountable. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it just is what it is. And that's the environment that we're in right now. People, everybody is just doing their thing. Nobody wants to be called out on their BS. But look, I'm gonna do it. This is what I do. You know, it's called accountability. There has to be an accounting of your actions, your behaviors, and if something is not adding up, hey, we're going to call it out. Taharka Bay is doing it. So many other folks are doing it to so many like people that have been out here for years, Miss Pat, for years, grifting, off of a already victimized set of people. You know what I mean? So I mean, it's really sad. Okay, you know what? I would give her the benefit of the doubt on the laughing, but look, I'm just seeing it from a point of, this woman is laughing at her audience. Like, she thinks that they're stupid. Like, that's the only thing that I could come up with. You know what I mean? But maybe that is what she's doing. It's a way for her to cope with the situation. Maybe. Okay. So let's see what happens.
I'm trying to be good today. But you can get the place for free. I bring myself, that's my part, right? I pay to bring myself, and then y'all show up. And I don't put no amount on the tickets. It's donations. Just get what you can, which helps me go to the next city, get things for people, help with supplies. I want to say shout out, speaking of that, to Ricardo. When I mentioned that about a week ago, Ricardo gave a donation. That was it. One person. He gave me $25. So shout out to Ricardo for going to the link.
Okay, so she made sure to say it was just one person. Just like I say, this is her offhanded way of saying, I need money. I want people to donate. Oh, only one person. I want to give a shout out to the one person that donated to me, Ricardo, right?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
this
Yeah.
is so obvious to me. Like, anybody that has like any type of maturity level, any type of cognitive like abilities would be able to spot this. It's obvious to me what she's doing here. Like, this is an offhanded way, but look, she gets even stronger. She gets even more adamant and more direct, rather. She gets more direct in her grifting. She actually starts to really ask for the money. So let's check that out.
And going to the website, the real Mechee X, and giving me $25. Now, on some Umar shit, I don't know if I need to ask y'all to hit the Cash App 3 times and then like it worked. That must be the magic number. You know, you click the heels, you go home. That's what the fuck it is. I'm sorry. I didn't say that shit 3 times.
See, and what she's doing, see, that's why I say, Miss Pat, she using that laughter as a way to try to make it look like, she's not doing what she's really doing. So she's done this like 3 times already in this stream. So on this time, she's laughing, right? Talking about, oh, I gotta ask 3 times, this ain't no Umar stuff or whatever she said there, bringing him up, like, just like I said, like, this is a grifting strategy that she's using right now. So she using the one strategy of saying, oh, poor me, I don't know what to do, I'm in a dilemma, I'm tired of doing this. Now she's being more direct, but she's trying to pass it off with all of the laughing and trying to act funny and trying to get an emotional connection to the audience. Look, anybody that's taken any type of like psychology class or that just street smart knows this. Connect with your audience. If you connect with your audience and have like an emotional bond with them, they are more likely to donate. They're more likely to pull out that wallet, right? That's what she's doing here. She is a grifter. Like, she is very well spoken, slick at the mouth. She's able to connect with her audience. This is a classic grifter. These are the people that prey on the Black community day in and day out. That's what we're looking at right here. This is not a genuine person that's saying, I'm in a tough spot. If she was really in a dilemma and in a tough spot, she wouldn't be playing these psychological games with people. It just is what it is.
But anyway, y'all,
Yeah,
I'm
you
still
know, I
trying to,
never
I'm still
used
trying to be in a good mood. I am. We got some people coming. I won't say it's all it's all
Did you know that there is a mental disorder called bipolar, where somebody is happy one second and then depressed and sad the other second? Now, either she's playing a grift or she has a mental disorder. And I'm going to say that she's playing a grift. She's highly intelligent and she's using all sorts of different manipulative tactics to try to get people to pull out their pocketbook, pull out their wallet to give money. She even went the direct route. So she went the indirect route, the direct route, used the emotional bonding, all of those things in this stream. Like, I'm seeing exactly what she's doing. Like, it's not passing by me.
A loss. I would never say that.
It's kind of
I
like,
did meet some dope people yesterday
my
that was
God.
still here when we got here. Shout out to the sister who drove 3.5 hours to be here. I was not gonna let her drive that far, and not get what she came for. So we went and we had lunch. She had like a personal one-on-one because she stuck around really late. So we hung out with her. It was a good time. Shout out to that sister, and thank you for coming. So, and it's a crowd here. Everybody's gathering. They went and called their friends. Folks is coming. So we just waiting. I mean, I'm not doing nothing else. I go home tomorrow.
Okay, if people are waiting and there's a crowd there, why don't you grab the camera and show everybody the crowd? Let's see all of these people that you claim are there. And by the way, Miss Pat, I notice another pattern. She keeps trying to act like she's trying to shout people out, but she never really, shouts out the people, right, that did things for her. Like the okay, so she was talking about this lady right now, right, that drove 3 hours. Why didn't you mention her name, or her channel name, you know, or something to really like identify her for everybody else? But now what she did do, she'll do it to try to get money though. Like that guy Ricardo, she used him. She'll say his name. She made sure to say his name. See what I mean? To That is to try to like build like an emotional bond with not only him, but with the audience. And see he heard his name being called out, right? So he feels special now. So this guy feeling special. So he may send more money now. See, she only does that when it benefits her. She only does that. And she's gonna do it again too. Watch
So
this.
I'm chilling, waiting for the folks to show up, and I guess we'll be teaching outside today because I did not come this far
But we at the field
to
house.
do nothing. Yeah, but we at the field house. If you in Chicago, you can still show up. If you come to what is we at Ogden Park
Ogden Park.
on Racing Street, is it called? That's how it's pronounced?
Racing.
Racine. It's a
Racine.
Racine Street. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, and so we're here. So y'all can still show up. Y'all can still show up. Thank you. Everybody said they like my braids. I want y'all to know I got off the plane and I did not have my hair done. And I was like, I know it's a sister could braid my hair in Chicago. And she definitely did. She did this ponytail. I feel like it take about an hour. She was fast as hell. She did a good job. So shout out to that sister.
Right there. She didn't say that girl's name. She didn't shout out her cash app, that girl's cash app, her business, or anything of that nature. She gives nobody any credit unless it directly puts money in her pocket. She just did it right there. So the girl did her hair, right? And why even mention it, right? If you're not going to give back, right? And give back means, that girl got a business, right? So shout her business out. Or at least say the girl's name,
Yeah, now
right?
that would have been great for her to
Yeah.
give it business. Like if you get your nails done and it's a black owned business, I've been looking for people for a long time. If I would get my nails done, I want it done by a black person, not the Asians all the time. If I get my hair done, I go to a hairdresser that is black. She may be in a little shop and everything, but she's gonna be black. I'd rather do that, even though my hair really isn't like most black people's, but it's still, I find that people I just want to support a black business as much as I can. If I buy soap, it's gonna be from a black soap maker. It's gonna be if I find out that they're a black-owned business as hard as it is for us today. And I believe in entrepreneurship. And she supposedly believes in that as well. So she needs to shout out all those businesses. That's what I liked about Goddess Masterpiece when she started. She was going around telling all the black businesses out there and shouting them out. But then she wanted to get paid to do that. You see what I'm saying? So, what's interesting is people always want to get paid for everything. You can't get paid for everything, but it comes back to you in the end. You know what I mean? It benefits you in the end when you give other people credit, and so that it can generate more support. Because it comes back to you. It really
Yeah, it
does.
does. Yeah, it does. You know what I mean? Like when your service is so good, people will talk about you like to everybody. Like they will, tell everybody, oh, this person did such a great job. And see, that's the thing about Mechee X. What she needs to do is take it up a notch. Take it up a notch. Shout them people out. You know, they will be so appreciative of it later. Just like she shouted out the guy Ricardo who gave her the money. That guy probably feels so special because she shouted him out and said his damn name, right? So he's probably going to give again. He's probably going to give again. And see, that's the thing, right? Is that if you treat people right, they're going to treat you right. Like it may not come back right then, but trust and believe. Like word is going to get out. Hey, you know what? That's a good brother right there. Or that's a good sister right there. She did something for me, and they go in on detail. That word gets out. But see, just being vague like that, to me, I think is on purpose. Like it's selfish, and she only wants to talk about herself. She only wants the limelight to be on her. Very narcissistic, in fact. But let's keep going.
I know I've been meaning to go live. I've been here since Thursday though, y'all. So and traveling. I've been meaning to get live, but every day is something I gotta do. Thank you for the Furious. Thank you for the super chat.
Okay, so wait a minute. Okay. See, that's what you and I are trying to figure out. She mentioned something about she was here since Thursday. I need to find out when it all started because the way what she was saying earlier was that she didn't know nothing. She didn't show up to her own event on the first day, although she was there, right? But she came the second day, and that's when she found out, right, that all of those people were turned back that first day, and she got mad at her own supporters about it. So my thing is, okay, so you couldn't go there at all on the first day? Wait a minute. I thought this was your event. I thought that this was important for you. Like I thought that you were gonna be there, to get quote unquote donations, knowing that everybody comes there on the first day. Most people don't show up on the second day. Most people come on the first day. She learned that from Atlanta. She knew that that's how people do. So, like, Miss Pat, these folks, just like I said, I'm done giving them the benefit of the doubt. To me, this second time has shown me that she is conniving. She's a grifter, and it's accountability time. It is accountability time. I mean, I would have just expected better, considering her having what 5 to 10 years of experience with conventions. Wait a minute. Houston was how long ago? Since 2017? We're going on 10 years. 8 years? And you're still having problems, still having issues with getting reimbursed, holding events. Folks are outside. She needs to give this gig up. Like, if she's seriously like having issues, and I doubt it, I think all of this is on purpose. But if she's seriously having issues to this extent, and to this level, she needs to give up the ghost. Stop doing it. Stop doing it. Folks are getting tired of you getting on these live streams and complaining about stuff that you had complete control over. You know what I mean? So
Somebody said, there you go, teach outside. That's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. I mean, we here. I ain't come all this way for nothing. And there are some people here, but he's not letting us in the building. Some people did come back today. But he not letting us in the building.
First, otherwise.
Did you go to the African braid shop? Hell no. People are not finna be braiding my thoughts. I went to the African braid shop one time in Atlanta. I would never go back again. That shit hurt so bad. I took it out the next day.
And promote. Shout out to Lily.
That's what her name is. Lily. Lily did my hair. Lily did this. And her dynamo.
Yeah.
Somebody said don't hurt nobody. I ain't gonna hurt nobody. I mean, it is what.
okay, so now I missed this on the first few times that I think I watched this like 2 times. I don't know how I missed this, but it seems like somebody else knew the girl's name, right? And she was like, oh, that's the girl who did this, Lily. Like, but really that's not a shout out though. Like, the way you want to do that is to already know her name and to put it out there like she did Ricardo. It shouldn't be broken up like that. See, that's how I missed it. I missed it. But I saw the first part where she was talking about her hair and didn't shout the person out. But then she said all of these things. And then she wants, like, somebody else chimes in and said, oh, the girl's name is so-and-so. So you see, Miss Pat, like, this doesn't
That's
go
true.
anywhere.
I noticed that as well. It would have been nice if she had made, like whenever I got my hair done or anything like that, I would take the card of that person and have the name of that person who did my hair. And I always let other people know to choose them because they make money, you know, by repeat business. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
it's always wonderful to give people the credit where it's due. And if I'm happy with the service, I let people know. And I'm a loyal customer. You know. Um, Now the thing is, I think Michi does need to retire from this because I think it's hard on her physically. I think it's hard on her health. She does have family and other things she could be doing. I think she put in her work. I think she put in her work. And, whenever I find myself faltering or things just not working, I don't give up. I contribute in a different way, or I just turn a different leaf. And I think she needs to do a different approach. These things aren't going to work anymore. Not just, probably for other. If Tariq Nasheed couldn't give an event and have people show up either, I heard his didn't turn out all that great either. So he stopped doing them. If you notice, he doesn't have these events anymore because he knows that you can spend a lot of money on this stuff or have planning and all this, and people will still not show up. Boyce Watkins, I think he may still have his stuff going on, but I don't attend them. It's really too dull and businesslike for me. I don't know why. I can't. My mind, my mind can't do it no more. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? I'm too old for it.
Yeah, he's still doing it.
I do
Yeah, he's
need.
still doing it. He's
Yeah,
still
and
doing it.
I don't fault him for it. He's a professor. I mean, if you
Yeah,
want to listen to a
yeah,
professor, he
he's
does that,
still
and he
doing it.
does give good classes. His classes are very good, and
Mm.
they do teach. Like all of his stuff for the stock market and all that. That stuff actually works. It's just that you have to be able to do it. You have to. That's why he has a PhD, and I only have I don't have a degree in that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
So, you
you
know
know
what I
what? But
mean?
yeah. He's still doing them, and the thing about Tariq, Taharka has been talking about him, and folks are just getting tired of all of the grifting. So the Hidden History Museum, Taharka and I both went in on him about this museum, and people took notice. a lot of people took notice, and now they're kind of taking a step back, right? And I don't blame them. Now with Mechee X, I totally agree
Well,
with
does he
you.
even still have the museum? Because I haven't heard
I'm
anything about.
hearing, I'm hearing that the museum is getting ready to be foreclosed or it's getting ready to be sold. There is no museum anymore. He's not
I would
talking
sell it
about
if
it.
I were him.
Yep,
I would get my money back because California
yep.
is expensive.
He's
I
not
wouldn't want to
talking
keep that
about it.
real estate.
No,
Mm-mm.
no. That was a whole grift. A lot of people gave money expecting one thing, and it turned out to be a damn disaster. And my thing is, look, I just think about the victimhood of the black community from the dominant society, right? And to have other, like, our own people try to like leech off of that and add to it, that's really pathetic. And I noticed all of these people have very similar characteristics, right? They're very well spoken. They tend to they tend to have the gift of quote unquote gab, right? Like they're able to talk really fast. They're able to connect with people emotionally. They can make you laugh. They can make you sad. They have this ability to connect with people. And I think that helps them be able to get money out of people. Like Jay Morrison. Okay, so we knew about the Tulsa real estate fund, right? But this guy was so charismatic. He was able to, talk people out of thousands of dollars, hundreds, if not thousands of dollars, into investing into something that wind up going bankrupt, right? So a lot of people fall victim to this, and folks, are looking for something, and really it's all inside of you. And that's what I want to tell people. Look, the only person that's going to save you is you. The only person out here that's going to lead you is you. You have to find it in yourself how to improve yourself, get an education, you know, find somebody, like if you're looking for somebody, find a person that's like-minded, you know, it's going to take you, like nobody else, particularly out here on these social media streets talking about they, are trying to liberate you and all of this and all of that. Nobody's going to save you except for you. Like, that's obviously what we've been seeing. A lot of these people talk about social media online, and you find out in real life they're not doing none of that. They're not doing none of that, Miss Pat. Like, they're not on the front lines, you know what I'm saying? They don't have anything really going. But they're online though, and they're asking you for donations. They're asking you for money, like Umar Johnson. It turns out that this man is a deadbeat dad. This man is a whole deadbeat dad out here.
And Umar Johnson is a huge disappointment because he's from my hometown, Philadelphia. And I'm like, I'm ashamed to be from a town where everything has bad people and good people. So I'm not mad at that. But he's such a disappointment. And the way he talks about women is so disgusting. I mean, he tries to act like he cares about black women, and then he sexualizes women. And I don't like that kind of stuff. I mean, he needs to show more respect. I mean, and the fact that he thinks he can have two wives and all this. This man can't have any wives. He doesn't take care of his business. He should have already had wives based on the children he's got. So this is terrible. I mean, it's just, and then the fact that he has the audacity to think he can start a school and raise kids and have them stay in that school. I wouldn't want him 2 feet near my child. Absolutely not. You know, I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know what I'm saying? You kind of breaking up again, Miss Pat. You know what I'm saying? You know, you're breaking up a little bit, but
Yeah,
yeah.
I better get down and listen. But
Okay,
listen,
Ashley,
I
it's
agree
better
with you
now.
about all this. I'm gonna keep out my eye on this situation because I hope it doesn't turn out for the worse. Because I want to uplift our people who are trying to help the community. Um, but yeah, we got to keep our eyes open. We got to keep our eyes open at all times. But I love this stream. Keep going because this is good work. And thank you for having me.
Okay, yeah, sure thing. You know, it got a little bit better towards the end, though. I will say that. I can hear you better. You
Yeah,
know, I don't
yes.
know. I don't know. You know what? Some people they kind of move around, and when they start moving around, they get into an area, right, where it's not like the connection isn't that strong. But you know, like you're like good now. Now you're good. I
Yes.
could make out what you were saying about Umar. Like I totally agree. Look, Umar. Okay, so he had this school like for the last what 10, 15 years. He's been collecting money and saying that he was trying to get this off of the ground and started. Look, a lot of these be good ideas. I'm not gonna say that they're bad ideas. A lot of these are great ideas and concepts. The problem is that the motivation behind them like is an issue. Like I don't know if the motivation is legit or not. And then you have the other issue of when you're trying to actually do it, like the practical aspects of these ideas, trying to actually do them turns out to be a lot more involved than what people had anticipated. You know, for an example, the Hidden History Museum. So, you know, with something like that, you need security, you need archivists, you need, all sorts of different things, right, that go into a museum. You know, it's not just where you just get pieces of work and put them on display. No, that ain't it. It's a lot more involved in that. There's actually nothing in that museum that's actually worth anything. A lot of that stuff was bought off of Etsy and and other places. Like there are portraits of Ida B. Wells in there, and uh, all just portraits, not actual like real portraits, but stuff that you can buy off of a website, that anybody can buy and just sit there. Like, bro, like that's not going to work. Taharka Bay talked about it all. Like he exposed all of it. And it's stuff like that that I think people don't understand or grasp is that look, these ideas, they're great ideas, but it takes more than an idea. It takes research, it takes people, that you have to pay, by the way, to tell you about all of the ins and outs of what's needed, what isn't needed. But folks think that, they can just throw up a school, or folks think that they can just throw up a museum. No, it doesn't work that way. You know what I mean? Like there's like building codes, all sorts of things that go into it, permits, all of that, you know, and folks like find out that look, this is harder than what, you know, meets the eye. Like there's a lot more to this. But then we see some people are not properly motivated. Some people are looking just to make a profit. A lot of them are looking just to grift and make money. They aren't truly motivated by really doing anything. You know what I mean? For black people, it's just an idea that they thought they could make money off of. See, there's a difference in having an idea, that you think you can make money off of, and then actually having a true, authentic idea, right? That you're really doing for the people, right? Really to benefit people, right? And folks are going for the former. You know what I mean? So, and that's what we've like, called out. The Tulsa Real Estate Fund, the Hidden History Museum, the Umar School, and Mechee X's, all of these conventions, that it turns out that she makes sure that she has a victim story. They always say, I came out of pocket some thousands of dollars, as an underhanded way of saying, please send me some money, and she's using all three tactics all together. So she really went in hard in the paint trying to get money. So, Miss Pat, thank you, sister, for coming up. It was great
And
speaking with
thank you
you.
for having me. It was wonderful. And I like this restream thing. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. This is my second time using it. I think I like it, better than StreamYard. It gives you, some interesting options. I like the little countdown option there at the beginning, and it's got some really, nice nice music there. You know what? I kind of like that. You know what I mean? It's different. So like, I think I'm going to be using this more often. I like it. So, but sister, thank you so much. Like, it was a blast. You know what I mean? So we
Thank
back
you.
together again. So yes, ma'am.
All right. You have a wonderful weekend. I'll keep listening.
Okay then. All righty. Yes. Animal advocate. You know what I'm saying? My good friend. So I'm just gonna I'm going to continue on a little bit further.
What it is. I'm not gonna say that I don't get discouraged though. Again, y'all ain't helped me with the answer to that. So I'm asking y'all as the community. Um, I'm asking the community, y'all, what I'm supposed to do. I don't know what to do at this point. I'm not gonna keep putting the whole event on my back. I'm not an event planner. That's not what I do in life. And I get tired of planning events and all the money you have to pay. And again, we never make our mark with ticket sales. And I really don't want to have to sell solutions to the community.
So she just said there, that she's not an event planner, and that, she just takes issue with having to, come out of pocket. You know what I mean? When she does have a ticket price, but the simple solution to this is for her to simply, hire herself an event planner and have all of this ironed out, so that she doesn't have to worry about making a stream and saying she came out of pocket so many thousands of dollars. Like, that is a simple solution, or take it upon your own self to calculate how much are the plane tickets, how much is it for food, how much is it for the hotel, how much is it for this, how much is it for that, for everything, and come up with a ticket price that reimburses you for your expenses. Like, it's not hard to do. This tells me that she's not good at managing her money. It tells me that she's not good at managing some of the most simplest things that everyday people have to manage, and it also tells me that it's a grift, because look, if this happened to you one time before, like me and Miss Pat was saying, in Atlanta, and you said you weren't going to do it anymore, and you were so tired, then why are you back 2 years later doing it again? Like, it just doesn't make any sense.
I like donation based. Give what you can. I don't want to put a dollar on helping the community. You know what I'm saying? But shit costs.
So she just contradicted herself there to an extent. So things cost, but on the other hand, you don't want to charge. This is a poor business model. That's not how businesses function. Like, look, everything costs money. Everything has to be calculated. If you don't calculate things, then this is what you can get. So it doesn't make any sense to say one thing, like, that this is going to cost money, that there's going to be issues. but you still want to do them. I would suggest stop doing them.
Somebody said charge people. D Major, I did that. I've gone. You know how many cities I've gone to? Shout out to all the people in the chat. They can tell you they've come to a Black Agenda. I have.
You didn't charge enough. That's the problem. You didn't charge enough. So for an example, okay, you know, you need to charge more to cover all of those expenses that you have to come out of pocket for. That's why it didn't work before in Atlanta, is because, you know, you didn't charge enough. There wasn't enough money that was brought in. Look, before you even do something like this, you need to do the math as to what everything costs versus what you anticipate coming in. Like, it just makes financial business sense to do it that way. And like Ms. Pat said, look, this economic environment is not one that lends itself to just wasting money. And folks are not going to spend money right now, you know, for something that's not worth the money. Look, I mean, based on what happened in Atlanta, folks like are looking at, is it worth this money to have these problems? Speakers not showing up, speakers being late, not enough coordination, you know what I mean, during the, you know, the event, things of that nature. So look, you know, and what she thought is that she was going to be able to get out of the accountability, right, by not having a ticket price. See, that was her way of trying not to be held accountable, right? But I'm going to hold you accountable because the people who came there spent their time, they supported you, and they were turned away. Not cool. Not cool.
Sold tickets. Every event I did, we went to 12 cities. 2 years ago, I did the Black Agenda in Atlanta. It was a big turnout. But I have not done one event that we sold tickets that I have still not had to come out of my pocket at the last minute, whether it's for the travel of the speakers, whether it's for the Airbnbs, whether it's a last minute, you got to pay for this or that. Shit, even the paperwork, like I said.
Last minute, Airbnbs, this, that, and the third. You have to account for all of that. All of those things need to be accounted for before you do it. That's going to help set your ticket price. That's where she's making the error at right there. You have to set a price, and you have to know what that price is, realistically what it is. It's just a failure of planning, a failure of being able to coordinate. That's on her. That's not on anybody else but her.
I said yesterday, I went to go print off all this paperwork to give everybody for the classes. It cost me $100 just for the printouts for each class that we have. And that's because somebody hooked us up. Originally at Staples, that shit was $300 per class. But somebody did it for us. Terrell said, I can meet you in real life. You in Chicago, you can come to the park right now. So when I do the events and I charge a ticket price, the tickets don't ever completely pay for everything. They don't. I end up paying for the rest of everything. I'm tired of that too.
And see, that's where the grift comes in. That's where the grift comes in, because now what she's saying is that she's losing money during these conventions, and when she does have a ticket price, it doesn't pay for everything. That's her fault. But what she's doing is that she's using that as an excuse to ask for more money. See, that's not the way you're supposed to do that. That's not a professional way of conducting, like, conferences and conventions. Like, that's not how you're supposed to, you know, do events. It's not supposed to be where you have to wind up. Basically begging people to come out, quote unquote, even. And this is the funny thing too. Look, she claims that she had to come out of pocket $3,000. Well, if you're asking for money, let's see the ledger. Let's actually see how much did you really pay for those plane tickets. Let's see how much you spent on gas. Let's see how much you spent to feed yourself. Let's see. So we're just supposed to take your word for it? That you were out 3,000, and back in 2023, she claimed she was out 7,000. Look, talk is cheap. Where is the paperwork that shows all of that backs that up?
Okay.
So again, I said let's throw some free events, and they're not really free because I had to come here. I had to get myself here. So I spent the money to get myself here, but I didn't have to pay for a building. I didn't have to pay for a bunch of other people to fly them out. I did have to pay for Airbnb. I did pay for my flight to get here, and the little things that we need for the event. I wanted to give away some supplies, but I wasn't finna come out my pocket for that either. I did that last time. So it's just, I don't know. It seems like no matter which way I do it, I can't fucking win for losing. So y'all tell me what I'm supposed to do at this point. What I'm supposed
to I would tell you what you're supposed to do. And I've been saying this for the last 3 hours. So what you do is you hire an event planner. And she will be your contact person. She or he will be the person that's going to organize the event, set the ticket price, all of those things. And you won't have to worry about making streams and begging for cash apps. That's option number one. Option number two is you calculate for yourself how much is it going to cost for you to do all of these things. Print out paper, okay? Pay for a plane ticket, pay for gas, pay for a rental car, whatever. For parking, all of those things, for a hotel. All of those things, add in all of the things that you can conceivably think of, okay? And use that to calculate what the ticket price is that you're going to charge everybody. That shouldn't be that difficult to do. You've had, 10 years to practice this and knowing what your expenses are and what it is that you're going to want to give out, gifts or, things of that nature. Put all of that in there. Put all of that in there. And then set the ticket price. And if the ticket price is too high, if it's really like too high for people, to go, then don't do the event. If that ticket price winds up being over $100 and from experience people are not going to pay that, then don't do the event. That means don't do the event. It is what it is. It is what it is. Not everybody can hold conventions and stuff like that. That's okay. So that's the solution.
But Chantel told me I can't quit, but I don't even want to go to Brooklyn now. I'm going though.
Yes.
I'm going to Brooklyn. I already bought my ticket. I'm not finna not show up for my brother Q.
Yeah,
so we're gonna go there. I'm coming to LA. I know that for sure. We still have to figure out the date. I know Brooklyn gonna be all right because Q on the school, so we're not gonna have a problem getting into the building like we get. And I would not support Q because he doesn't. But yeah. I don't know what else y'all want me to do. In the minute people be like, you just a content creator, bitch. I'm about to be a content creator. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm about to be that next thought leader in this bitch. I'm just gonna make $10,000 a month on YouTube, going live. I'm gonna be a thought leader. I'm gonna just tell y'all what I think about shit. I'm gonna get some really expensive headbands, you know what I'm saying? Put an MX on the front of that bitch and charge you $600. That seems to be the better solutions for the community. You know, that's what seems to work.
Well, you know what I'm saying? What it is that, you know, if you can do that, you know what? That's great. You know, if you can like come up with some ideas, you know, and some concepts and something that people actually want to watch, then yeah, go live. Go live like everybody else. Look, just like I said earlier, the convention thing, the conference thing is not for everybody. It's not for everybody. If you can't financially do it and get the people out, then you shouldn't do it. There's nothing wrong with just saying, look, I'm done doing the conferences. They're not economically viable at this time. People will understand. But you doing this, you know, during the convention, sitting outside of all places, actually outside of the venue. We outside, y'all. We outside. Bro, like really? So I'm pretty sure that this type of thing, like folks are catching on to the grift, that folks are seeing what is really going on. All of the laughing, all of the, you know, trying to emotionally bond with the audience saying, oh, you know, this is so terrible. I'm tired of doing this. All of that. Folks are catching on to that and look like it, you know, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, that's all on me.
You know, I'm gonna start repeating shit 3 times. I'm gonna give me some dashikis. That's the formula. No, I'm not gonna do all of that, but I am probably gonna sit the fuck down. Y'all don't know how much money I can make if I just sit at home.
Well, then maybe that's what you need to do. Look, I don't think that's the case for her. She may be saying that, but that's actually not the case, because trust and believe, if she was just sitting at home and she was making a lot of money like that, she would be doing it. She'd be doing it. To sit up here, for her to be begging for cash apps, right? Upset about coming out of pocket. But then on the other hand say, well, you know, I could be sitting at home and making a whole bunch of money and getting clout and all that and not be doing it, bro. Like, you must think people are stupid. But you know what? Like Miss Pat said, you know, in some respects, you have put in your work, but the grift thing, it's the grift thing that I'm looking at. It's the lies and the grifting, because that is an utter lie. If she could make more money just going live, that's what she would be doing. She wouldn't be doing these conventions like this. But she's doing the conventions and then botching them, using that as an excuse to sit up there and say, oh, this is terrible. Oh, I came out of pocket so much money. Not showing any receipts either now. So she's saying that she done came out of pocket $3,000 and hasn't shown not one receipt. That's not going to work. That's not going to work. It's accountability time.
What I'm doing right now, I could do this. Do y'all remember when I worked on Fly Nubian Queen and I went live Monday through Friday for Dr. Watkins? I could make that man $8,000 in a week. I don't go live Monday through Friday for myself, but I could if I wasn't doing 50,000 other things. So I don't know. y'all. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I feel like we are in a yes, I do. All of my businesses are LLCs. I actually have an S corp, and I do have one that is being registered as a nonprofit. I can't write it off. That's not the point. I'm still spending the money. And again, like now, I done spent the money, but because Negroes is Negroing, I came all of this way to teach 8 people. Now, I love all 8 of these people that are about to show up because the 55 people that were supposed to be here that got turned away yesterday is not here. Now, I'm still going to do this, but I'm going to tell you, let's be real. It did not take for me to spend almost $4,000 to come here to teach 8 people. I could have just fucking threw a free class online, right?
Exactly. Exactly. So why didn't you show up on the first day where there were 55 people there, knowing from your experience from Atlanta that most people come on the first day? Why didn't you come on the first day, Mechee? Why didn't you show up on the first day? See, something's not adding up here. It's not adding up. And just like I thought, it's only 8 people there. It's only 8 people there on the second day, and y'all sitting outside like a bunch of vagrants, loiterers and vagrants.
But I like to connect with the people. I wanted to give away supplies. I wanted to show people how to use the stuff. It's different when you're in person with people. It's just different.
Me in Chicago appreciate it.
That's right.
I love Chicago. That's why. Right. That's why I came here first.
That's right.
That's why I'm here.
That's right.
Well, I appreciate you coming.
And we appreciate the people yesterday too, but they should have.
I was honored that lady drove 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
When she told me I drove 3, girl. Well, what you want to do? You want to go have lunch? You ain't come all this way for nothing. Everybody else gone. That the man sent everybody home. So I'm trying not to be discouraged, y'all. But
Definitely a fan.
I just feel like we could do way more if everybody just did their damn part. Just do y'all part. Y'all can't put everything on me. I'm not carrying the black community on my back.
Can't put it. Wait a minute. You decided to do these conventions and conferences. What do you mean by people can't put everything on you? It is on you. You put it on yourself. You can't put the fact that, you know, you failed to secure the venue on the 55 supporters that showed up and got turned away yesterday. Why are you putting that on them? And look, those folks those 8 people that are out there with you now, I hope y'all realize, all y'all 8 people, I don't know who the 8 people are, but each and every one of you, I hope you realize that she's talking about y'all too, right? She's talking about y'all too. She's including you 8 people in this. But y'all too stupid enough not to realize that she's talking about you right in front of your face.
Because it's a lot. It's a lot. But I would tell y'all this. I do think that it is important that we have this information. This is why I'm coming out here to do it, because I'm not just coming out here to be like, ooh, look what Mechee know. Shit is about to hit the fan. I've been saying this for a very long time. I laugh when I look online, and now Bill Gates. Everybody want to tell y'all AI is finna take everybody's job. How fucking long have I been telling y'all that? If you want to make money, it's not about being a business owner. Maybe you just want to find a job. You lost your job and you can't find a job. The next job you will get, if you get one, will be online. You can get jobs online too. You can.
Right. So why do we have to drive or fly to Chicago to hear that? See, like, the information that you're giving can be given online. Look, this is an internet-driven world now. Very rarely do you have people actually getting together in person. Most people are on their phones 24 hours a day, staring down on their phone, right? Or on a computer. Nothing that is going on at that convention really, like I would say 70% of it, you could actually do that online. 70% of anything that you got going on at that convention, you could do it online some kind of way. Either on a private site, a pay-per-view site, on Rumble, on YouTube. Like, it is possible for you to say or express whatever it is that you want to express at those conventions online. There's no need to have a convention. No need.
You can go to Microsoft, you can go to Harvard, you can go to Google. They have free certificates, right? That you pay nothing for. Now, if you want the certificate to be what they call legitimate, whatever, you might have to pay $100. But you don't need that certificate to get a job online. You need to learn how to do marketing when it comes to social media marketing, be a social media manager. You need to learn how to apply yourself and create apps, do coding. It's so much shit that you could do to create a job for yourself that people don't ask for credentials for you to do it, okay?
So see, so why didn't you have a pay-per-view live stream where you just said what you just said? Like, really? But instead, what you want to do is have a conference to have people come out and willingly just give money, you know what I mean, to you. And then you want to complain that, oh, with the venue, we can't actually have anybody go inside because I failed to actually ensure that it was booked. Look, it's stuff like this, right, that folks are calling out these days, that I've been calling out. And we're going to continue to do that.
Okay, and you can go market all of the stuff you do, and you can do your own business, or you. I think we back now. Are we back? Y'all, I think we back now. Are we back? Y'all can hear me now? Somebody call my phone, and I hope they dumbass don't call me again back to back, because that's the kind of person they are. So if it freezes again, it's because my phone ringing. But if y'all wait a second, it's buffering. I'll be back.
So, you know what? This is another thing that I talked about before is the language. Look, if you're trying to reach a collective of Black folks, if you're screaming, yelling, cursing like a sailor, look, you're going to turn off at least half of those people. At least half of the people that you're talking to aren't going to want to hear the rest of what you got to say because you sound unintelligent. And I know that she is actually highly intelligent, but she does herself a disservice with using that foul language in the way that she does. There are a lot of people that probably would, quote unquote, support her if she would use better language. Like, it just is, like, it is what it is. Your vocabulary, like, says a lot as far as, you know, you being able to express yourself in an intelligent way. If you're unable to do that or unwilling to do that because you want to be, quote unquote, authentic, you're going to turn off a lot of people. When she was on Dr. Boyce Watkins' channel, that language wasn't accepted. That language was something that was a turnoff for the conservative group of black people that visit that channel there. It's not going to work. So just like I said, like, it was a criticism that I had of her back then, and it's still a criticism today.
Somebody said, wait, they just came in, a person turned them away yesterday. Let me go back to that. Wait, I just came in, they turning people away. Oh, okay. No, you just asking. Yeah. Yeah. So again, so we're here at the park, and there's a building here. And over a month ago, we booked it. It's free when you tell them you want to do an event here. We booked it. It's free when you tell them you want to do an event here. And so the guy that we motherfucker didn't want to work. Now this motherfucker want to keep calling my phone. Interrupting my live. I'm gonna find him and punch them in their motherfucking face. No. Oh, I think we better. After half the goddamn people that left. I'm sorry, y'all. Somebody keep calling my phone. It's the same person. Want to wait till I get on live and then want to keep calling. Okay, don't call no other time. I don't know why. Ain't the shit else working. I don't know why I expected this motherfucking line to work.
You guys have more chairs? Yes, for you. You got one?
But like I was saying, y'all, if you don't learn how to make some money online, you're gonna be asked out. I've been telling y'all this for forever. So
just put that chair together.
I know that we want to always talk about, black empowerment and all of those things, and we want to hear something really sensational. But a solution right now for the black community is for y'all to learn the new way of money, right? Whether you are working to make your money, it's a side hustle, or you decide you do want to run a business. Everybody not a business owner. I'm not telling you y'all need to own a business owner. You don't, right? But even if you looking to make some money, you want to get a job, you should know the skills that people need you to have so you can work online for somebody. And a lot of y'all have these skills and don't even know that you do because you don't know what it requires, right? So I think that's important that we have that information. This is why I'm giving people this information, okay? Because you're going to find yourself left behind. And I think that we are hurt enough financially in our communities. Yesterday, let me tell you what happened. So yesterday I was late. This is when the man turned everybody away. Somebody said no sound, Brenda. It might be your phone because nobody else is saying no sound. Y'all can hear me?
Yes.
Brenda, I think it's your phone.
So, just kind of, listening back at this, like, it's so unprofessional. There's so much noise in the background. There's so many distractions going on. She's even got people that are trying to contact her through telephone calls that is disturbing the live stream. So to say the word janky is an underestimate. Like, this is beyond janky. So not only are you outside of a convention center, you are on your cell phone, sitting in a chair, having, all types of noises in the background, all types of distractions. And now you want to, now you have something that you want to tell folks. Like, this is not at all the way you want to, present yourself if you claim to be a quote unquote pro-black leader.
Now, my son got murdered by Chicago police.
Oh, there is sound. Okay,
so me and her, that's why we do a lot of work and stuff together. So
yesterday there's a parade at the and so there is a street, a side street where my Airbnb is. It's a side street. It ain't even the main street the parade is on. They put up no signs, but I have been parking there for several days. They came around and they towed the car yesterday. So when we woke up, the car was gone. It took us 3.
So this is what I don't get. So according to her, she's been in Chicago for several days and she never showed up to the first day of the convention. What were you doing for those several days? Did it not come to you, right, to at least call the venue to see if everything was still on for your event? What were you doing for those several days there? See, this is why I'm saying, like, this is all on her. It's all on her. And, you know, there is no way that she can try to shift the blame on anybody other than her.
Hours sitting at the tow yard to get the car back. Okay. And so it was hundreds of people in there. They towed everybody's car. But it was people in there who had to decide whether I'm going to pay my light bill or whether I'm going to get my car out of tow because I got to go to work, right? And so it's shit like this. I done told y'all it's very expensive to be poor. It's poor people who pay all the money for everything. Overdraft fees, everything in your bank account, pay for tickets and parking. People got money to pay for that stuff. They don't have overdrafts in their account. So it's very expensive to be poor, right? But being in these situations, it's just about to get worse for us financially. It really is. And so I think it's important for y'all to know how to make some money online. Okay, so that's why I'm here teaching this. This is a solution, whether y'all think it's a solution or not. I already tried to let's burn some shit down. Y'all don't want to do that. So if you ain't burning that down, I think you need a job. So I'm just trying to help you. And I think that survival is important. Because y'all talk all of this shit, y'all see the truck finna put everybody back on the plantation. If you really believe that and you knew what was coming for us, I think you need to get yourself together when it comes to survival. This is why I teach these two things. Somebody said, I bet she parked on Oakwood. No, I was on what's the name of the street? It's over there by is it Martin Luther King Boulevard? On like 36 or something.
Playing with fireworks and all type of stuff. Girls, boys, everybody. They came through talking about
but anyway, this is why I came to teach these things. I think that this is important information that's really going to help us where we need to go. If y'all not ready, everything going over to AI, we use computers for everything. What that does is open us up for a cyber attack, right? So we could easily have our power plant shut the fuck down by a cyber attack and then not come back up. Y'all probably go out and be like, oh, I'm going to have power again in another day. What you going to do? Y'all probably don't come back on for 30 days. And if you think that shit is not possible, then okay. I want you to keep thinking that. Keep thinking that.
He ran around the corner. The police
keep thinking that.
Shit, after that,
so I think it's plenty that we need to know. So this is just what I'm offering. I'm in Chicago. But they told the car we was down there, they was taking everybody money, and then while everybody was showing up here because I was late, the shitty ass brother inside was telling everybody, ain't no events here this weekend, so everybody went home. So we got everybody this weekend. But I'm gonna reiterate on some real shit. Like I'm gonna need y'all to have some better sense than that. Why y'all ain't email me? Why not one of y'all? If you was in the chat right the fuck now, and you came here yesterday, and you let this man tell you there ain't no event here this weekend, and you believed him and went home, why you ain't email me? You should have known that shit was a lie. You wasn't even gonna touch base with me. Mechee, he sent us away. You thought I really wasn't here. That I said all of this, but I wasn't here. You believe?
Well, you know what? That is a possibility. That that could in fact be the case, but you can't blame those people because they didn't email you that the venue wasn't available for folks to go inside. You can't blame them for that. And just like I said, you're there now and you're not even in there. She is there a whole day later, and she is not even able to get inside. So there's nothing that she would have been able to do anyway. You didn't even show up on the first day, but you had been there for 4 or 5 days. Like, you can't make this up.
Leave this motherfucker over me. Y'all supposed to email me. Yeah, he a hater. I don't know. It wasn't on the event. The man that was supposed to put it down, we've been calling him, and he ain't answering the phone. So he said he couldn't let us in. But what I will tell you about the man that is here today, yesterday that turned everybody away, he got a shitty ass attitude. He rude as hell.
So, okay, so the person that you supposedly contacted to put the reservation down, to put the booking down for the event, all of a sudden now you can't get a hold of this man? See, that's what I'm saying about doing stuff under the table, about trying to get stuff done for the cheap. Look, you're not going to be able to get into no convention center for free, bruh. I don't know what made her think that that was going to be free or that it was going to be discounted. You have to go through the proper channels. There are no free lunches out here. So what happened was she got caught. She got caught trying to get a free lunch, and it wound up backfiring.
I wanted to punch him in his face, you know, but I ain't want to go to jail right now.
To make you want to get above and stuff, like you came outside the car.
He's just rude as hell.
Go, yes, 3 hours.
That's the problem. It's not his fault, but he shouldn't. I don't like his smart mouth. Like, I done flew out here. We got an event. He like, oh well, I don't know what to tell you.
Just irritating shit.
Shout out.
Yeah, you know what? I actually don't blame the guy, but you know, because look, he probably don't even know who it is that you talk to. Who did you talk to? Yeah, I don't know what to tell you, because on our manifest, there's nobody listed here. And I am the proper channel to go through. Who did you contact to schedule, like to book an event? See, this is why an event planner is so important, because, you know, the buck would stop with the event planner. He or she would be responsible for booking that hotel. They know how to book those venues. They know how to, you know, network and channel, you know, as to who it is that they're supposed to talk to. Not just anybody on the street that claims to be affiliated with the venue. So, you know, janky is really, you know, a nice word to use, because it was really like messed up how this was all supposedly set up.
Krista, thank you for that. I wish I was at home. Are you in Chicago? Okay. Are you out of town?
Yesterday, it's something in my spirit said, I don't know why.
Go tomorrow.
Yeah, so everybody went home. He was wrong for that, but I'm gonna say again. I might say it another time, so it'll be 3 times like Umar Johnson. But I do want to say that for the people who came out here, I think that y'all was wrong too for not touching base. Y'all ain't email me asking.
But I know with me.
But I'm gonna reiterate again. The reason y'all left here and y'all didn't bother to email me and say, Mechee, what's going on, and clarify some stuff because he misinformed y'all. The reason y'all did not do that is because you didn't pay a motherfucking thing to come here.
Wait a minute. No, he didn't misinform them. The venue wasn't booked. The person that you talked to most likely is not even affiliated with that venue. Y'all got. That's what it is. No, they weren't misinformed. You actually are not booked there. So no, they were told that there was no event scheduled there, and they turned around and left. Why are you holding that against them? That is a you problem, because you took it upon yourself, or whoever you designated wasn't an event planner. They contacted the wrong person and probably are out of some money. And now you can't find the dude. Yeah, y'all got. Y'all got.
It was a donation-based event. You didn't pay nothing to come here, so because you sacrificed nothing, you just went home and said, oh, well, fuck it. I ain't gonna email her. I'm not gonna check in. Had I charged y'all a ticket fee to be here, oh, y'all would have blew my email up. Y'all would have stood here for 30 minutes waiting because you would have paid something to be here. You sacrificed something. Oh, thank you very much. So because of that, you would have done what you needed to do. But because you didn't sacrifice shit to come here yesterday, but a car drive, I sacrificed it all to be here. Y'all didn't motherfucking call and check in with me. So then y'all didn't even decide to come back today.
I didn't understand why they had to
So again, back.
No, they didn't come back the second day because they were told that there was no event scheduled actually for the whole week there. And just like I said, she's lucky that people didn't actually take out their phones and start to actually like blast her and out her for running a scam. So she's actually lucky that that didn't occur. Because the fact is that there was no booking. Because if there was, they would have been inside of there. To sit up here and think that y'all booked something and the people didn't let y'all in, there would be a lawsuit going on right now.
To the beginning of the live, I have a dilemma, y'all. I don't know what I'm supposed to do at this point because I'm ready to be like, fuck it. The other way didn't work, this way not working. It seemed like I had to put everything on my back in order to do anything for the black community. And this is the thing, if y'all don't give a fuck, why do I give a fuck?
It's just
why?
The other way didn't work because you didn't do it the right way. Just because the other way didn't work, that doesn't mean to not go that route. It means that you need to make some improvements and some minor tweaks and changes. It doesn't mean that you go into a whole new way of doing it. So just like I said, had she calculated all her expenses, she would have been able to find an adequate ticket price to charge people. Easy.
Why? The shit I'm teaching y'all, I know. I make money online. Been doing this since 2015. All the shit I'm teaching y'all, I know. So why the fuck do I need to do it? If you don't want to help and you won't help me help you, then fuck you. That's what I'm at. And if not, y'all tell me what else I'm supposed to do. And Ramsey, I'm not gonna blast you out because we on live, but I want to say, Ramsey, you played me, and I'm gonna text you and tell you how you played me. You know, but as a sister who worked really hard for her businesses, that mess you pulled with MX Network, bro, you could have just called me. You ain't have to do what you did. Why you gonna call the bacon and white folks? If you wanted to cancel your subscription, you could have said that shit. You know me and have my number. I'm on one today. You shouldn't have came in here today. Because on top of all the money I spent, I looked up, I got a charge back that says, I canceled my subscription, nigga, and she didn't cancel it, and you know that shit a lie, and you got my number, nigga. Okay. Do you know that bank charged me $35 for your fucking charge back, and you lied, nigga? You could have texted me and been like, Mechee, can you cancel my subscription? That's right.
So here we are with the unprofessionalism. So she's at a venue outside holding a conference outside, and she's got a personal beef with somebody, and she wants to, talk about that on a live stream. See, that's the kind of like behavior and the type of actions that we have to get out of, that black people need to stop doing, because it takes away from your legitimacy as far as whatever you got going on. Nobody wants to attend a conference with somebody that has this type of behavior and attitude.
But see, it baffles me, the people that I allow into my life, people I meet online, I give y'all my number, you be having access to me, and you still pull fuck shit.
Okay, so wait a minute. You allow them in your life. You allow them. See? Where's the accountability? She just admitted that she allowed these people in her life. Well, you have some accountability in that. It sounds like a you problem that you need to deal with. You allow them in your life. What is going on with you that you will allow toxic people and folks who were, supposedly scam you into your life.
So you didn't want to pay $12.99 for your subscription, so you decided to tell the bank that you canceled it, and we didn't cancel your subscription. Nigga, motherfuckers cancel their subscription to MX Network every day. All you gotta do is go in your account, push the button, and it works. But instead, you decided to go to the bank, nigga, when you got my number. I could have canceled your subscription for you if you didn't know how to do it. I could have walked you through it. So that $12.99 that you got back, it cost me $30 motherfucking dollars for you to get the $12.99 back. But you got my number. This why I don't fuck with people. But you got my number, and you see how you do me? You see how you do me, Ramsey?
Yes.
I thought we was better than that. That was some bullshit too. But have a good afternoon.
Okay.
That's crazy
So you
to me.
the contact is there.
Thank you, Fade and Sanctified. Appreciate the super chat. I just can't win for losing. I be trying to be too nice to people, and y'all just be doing me dirty. Y'all think I'm mean and I'm nice, but I'm gonna turn into a bitch and let y'all know what it really is. I'm telling you. Y'all wonder why I don't answer the phone? People got my number. Y'all never answer your phone. This why? Because y'all be so fake. I be thinking we good, and then y'all be mistreating me. And the only way I know how to deal with mistreatment is to slap the fuck out of you. But then that puts people in jail, and then bail costs money, and I got bills to pay. So this why I stay in the house.
Yep. See? It's that type of vulgar language, that type of demeanor, that type of attitude as to why she could only go so far. She would never be able to go further than where she is right now. If she continues with that language, that attitude, that demeanor, she's going to stay exactly where she is. And even as she gets older, go down a few notches as well. As those looks fade, it's going to get worse and worse and worse. And she'll be relegated to the history annals of YouTube. That's where she's headed. She never really understood marketing and being able to market herself to the broader collective of Black people. It's really unfortunate. Really, really unfortunate.
Okay. And I don't mean to be getting loud with y'all, but I'm kind of irritated. This is my first coffee, okay? Cut me a break. Y'all be doing me dirty. And I'm sick of it. I'm fucking sick of it.
Being crunk.
Somebody said, do I have any link other than Cash App? Yes. You can go to the real Mechee X, because I'm on the live on the phone. I didn't put the link in there, but you can go to the realmecheex.com, and we have a donation link on the website. And to be honest, I prefer for y'all to do it that way. If y'all send me a Cash App, I appreciate it. I'm gonna use it for the stuff I gotta use it for. But y'all give it to me. If you do it on the website, then it goes through the proper channels it should. I can even show y'all, because the site will keep track of the donations, so I can actually show y'all what people have given. I don't have a problem doing that, so that y'all will see that for yourself. So it's just structured in a better way. When you do the Cash App, it's coming to me. When you do the donation, it's going to the Black agenda, right? So that's the difference. So, and on there you can pay with PayPal or a debit card or a credit card or anything if you don't want to do the Cash App. And I appreciate you for asking. Thank you. So the next online boot camp is gonna be in October, because that's what I plan, because that's when I plan to stop traveling. I was supposed to go to 3 cities in September, and then I have a city in October.
So online boot camp sounds like that's really what she needs to do with what she be trying to do, like doing her travels and things of that nature. I'm not sure exactly why she isn't. If she was really trying to help Black folks and she really thought that she can get a good bag, like just staying at home and making live streams, Why is it that you're traveling around like, you know, like it's not working for you? It doesn't work. So why are you doing it?
Then I was gonna sit it down for a little bit. So the next boot camp is supposed to be in October.
I like this breeze.
Yes, I said it. And we in the nice shade of spot. That's what I said, sister. And we got this.
Somebody said,
We
what
got
lesson
this.
did you learn? Check it yourself. Are you talking to me? What lesson did I learn? I learned to stop sacrificing everything for people who don't give a fuck to sacrifice nothing for themselves. If you're talking to me, like, I've been telling myself the way I help the community, I need to do it in a different way because what's happening is not working. I'm tired.
And I'm like, please.
I'm tired.
Okay, we're gonna be planning.
If you tired, go to bed. That's my thing. Like, you know, if you tired, go to bed. If you tired, stop doing what you're doing that's making you tired. Like, it's a simple solution. Take a break. Go to bed. Stop doing the conferences. Stop doing the conventions. Whatever you want to call them, stop doing them. Take a break. And do like you said, like stay at home, cut on the camera and go live and make all of this money that you claim that you can make. She claimed that she can make a whole bunch of money if she just stayed home. Well, why don't you just go ahead and do that? Since you tired, this gives you an opportunity to stay home and make all of this money that you claim you can make.
And I tried to get my resignation to Chantel yesterday and told her I was done, but she wouldn't accept that shit.
No, I'm sorry.
I put in my 2-week resignation. I quit working for the black community. And she was like, no, you don't. And she laughed at me and shit. And I was serious, but she wasn't fucking taking me serious. I don't know what I learned yet. On some real shit though. If you're talking to me, I don't know. I don't know what I learned yet. Keep pushing. I'm trying to figure it out. So I don't know. I don't know what the lesson in all this is. It could be a confirmation that I need to just go ahead and stop because nothing seems to be working. But it might not be that. I don't know. Somebody said, yes, I'm not trolling. I hate when y'all do that. Everybody is a troll. I mean, just because a person say something you might think is disagreeing or some shit like that, I hate that word troll. Like, y'all act like people just get online and talk shit. Sometimes people don't agree with you. Sometimes people got smart ass mouths. Sometimes people like to tell jokes in the chat. It's just a person to me. So when people be like, don't respond to the troll, they're not. They comment like anybody else. They ain't bothering me. Eric, so in my boot camp, is what I do all the time. It is a 6-week course because that's how much information it is. We learn, I teach every Sunday, and then every Wednesday we have a meeting where you guys can take off your cameras, and what you learned on Sunday, you're supposed to put in practice, or at least go check it out if it's one of the ways you want to make money. And then if you have any questions or you're stuck with anything, then I can help you on Wednesdays. And so I teach over 10 ways for people to make money online. I start with the stuff that don't cost you nothing to get started, that's free, up to all the way how you make your own streaming platform, apps, and everything else. I teach you how to build your own websites, how to work with it, and website.
Whoa. Hold on. Let me skip over that a little bit.
That's not mine. I think that went with that. I think that's not mine. I think she just
So anyway, like I said, we got some folks up in here. I'm gonna get out, show some love to the people that are actually here with me, y'all. I just wanted to come in while I was waiting for everybody and say,
okay.
Somebody said, how do I feel about teaching other races? Okay, so no. 3 times like Umar. I want to say that shit 6 times. No. Motherfucking no. No. And the reason why I say that, I mean, people may take offense if that's what you want to do. This is the thing, is that
They're not teaching.
I've told y'all many times before, is that there's a lot of turmoil in this world, right? That a lot of people go through. But I mean, you only have so much in you to be able to teach to a certain group of people. So I just decided in my life. So
until everything is
I don't
done.
want to waste
Okay,
that energy
because
on
we're
other
gonna
people.
have.
So
we're
no, as
planning
the
to
black
do
agenda, as we've done, you got to be black.
That's how we're
Somebody gonna say you white though. I'm glad you think you know what I am and informing me on who the fuck I am.
Well, you know what? It's only like a couple minutes left of this. There's really nothing else that she's gonna say, pertaining to the event. Look, the fact is that the black community is tired of grifters. They're tired of these pro-black men and women, both men and women, who are out here victimizing an already victimized class of people. And there are, smaller content creators who are out here that actually do this stuff because we see the grift, we see the tactics, we see the strategies that these folks are using to try to, use and abuse their own people. It's really sad. But I really want to give a shout out to Miss Animal Advocate for coming up with me and talking about this. I think it was a great stream. It needed to be done. It's something that I think that folks need to get more into doing, calling out the grift. So I enjoyed it. I hope everybody has a great weekend. So till next